Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, and welcome back for the first watch along of the season. Of course, as you know, won every single game. I cannot wait. It's going to be absolute whopper. We will be doing a watch along for every single game this season. As you can see, we are joined by co-host Jack, and of course, Matty Hayes is joining us today. He's off work for the week, so it's a pleasure to have him. Jack, how are you, my man? You super excited?
I'm very excited, Dave. We're kind of treated by a pretty good lineup by the looks of it. We're seeing Richarlison and Hill Messi up top, Dave. Lucas is going to be playing with Richarlison for the first time. Bentancur and Skip, which a lot of people are even predicting could be maybe, a mainstay in midfield for next season. We're actually being treated, Dave, with quite a star lineup, and Sonny might be coming in for the second half, just to ooze, kind of any of any of the pressure there. I'm looking forward to this, Dave. Actually, I'm really excited about the starting 11. I thought we were going to be kind of, looking at mostly youth team, sort of players to get it kicked off. We're actually looking pretty strong.
I was the same. And look, the lineup is Austin in goals. It's Sanchez, Romero, and Dyer forming the back line. In midfield, you've got Bentancur, and you've got Skip up front. You've got Richarlison, you've got Gill, and you've got Lucas Moura. Can't remember who's on the wing backs. Jack, can you remember?
I think it's Sessegnon and Emerson, Dave, which is, the top 4 winning wing backs, if we actually recall from last season, going into this one. Quite treated. But Matty, your thoughts on, maybe the lineups here, Spurs's, maybe perhaps give us a little knowledge on the K-League 11 as well?
Yeah, first of all, the Spurs lineup is a lot stronger than I was expecting. I was looking at it, and even looking at the squad as a whole, I think it's refreshing to see. Typically preseason games like this could be used by managers to put players in the shop window. If we're trying to move on a certain player, get him some minutes, show the fitness in that. But because we know players like Reguilon and Dembele, Lo Celso and Harry Winks haven't actually been included in this preseason tour, I think we can say, probably with the exception of Brandon Austin, that every player on that pitch is potentially fighting for a place in the first team this season, which is very, very exciting to see. Just to quickly run you through the K-League lineup. So they're going to be lining up in a 4-4-2. They've got Jo Hyun Woo in goal, who I'm sure you all know very well. Plays at Ulsan Hyundai, the league leaders. Across the back, they've got Park Sung-wook, Jeong Tae-wook, David Bulthuis, and Kim Jin-soo in left back. He's on loan from Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr, who actually have some decent players in their ranks. They've got Talisca, Vincent Abubakar, and Ramiro Funes Mari as well. So some good players in the ranks there. He's on loan this season at Jeonbuk. On the right-hand side, they've got Kwon Chang-hoon. Interesting thing with him and one of the strikers as well, they play with Kim Chon Sang-moo, who is actually that team is actually the sport division of the Republic of Korea Armed Forces. So they're essentially the army, which is going to be interesting. Could see some rough challenges going in from them. In the middle, they've got Alexander Palacevic, former player in the top division of the Portuguese league. They got Paik Sung-hoo as well. Out in the left, Kim Dae-won. Up top, they have some very, very good striker options at their disposal. They've got Cho Gu-sung playing with the Army side as well. Joint second top scorer in the league this season with 12. And they got Lee Sung-woo as well. Plays with Suwon FC, who's the joint 4th top scorer with 9 goals. There's 3 teams not represented in the starting 11. They all have teams in the players on the bench. One of those is Jeju United. They've got a strong striker at their disposal as well, Ju Min Kyu, who's the joint 2nd top scorer in the league this season. Old-style centre forward. I think he could cause a few problems for anyone if he does come on. But it's a strong team from the K-League side, and definitely a few good players to come off the bench as well.
Wow.
100%. Incredible knowledge by Matty. Everybody, big Matty up in the chat. That is incredible. But Jack, there's a couple of super chats to get to, my man, and let's welcome a few people in. And then I want to have a brief discussion on Richarlison, what we want to see from him before this game kicks off. And then I need to head to the toilet when the game kicks off. Been on the go all morning.
Tottenham Gold saying, ladies and gentlemen, live from Kildare, Ireland and Brooklyn, New York, introducing the best duo since Maradona and Pele. So let's all get behind the boys. Honestly, that sounds like the biggest fallout of all of time, because Maradona and Pele, I don't think they liked each other too much. So maybe there's something going on behind the scenes here, David. But I really do appreciate it from Dermot here. And David, Dermot, I bet he's up nice and early. Dermatron, he's gotten the coffee in, and he's just looking forward to seeing the Spurs play. He's probably very excited about this upcoming season.
Yeah, 2 sugars as well for Dermatron, I would say, this morning. He's absolutely buzzing. And look, I can't wait either. Look, are me and Jack Maradona and Pele? Far from it, but we definitely strive to be Maradona and Pele, my man. But big up, Dermot, brother. Hope you're excited and really appreciate the support, my man. Come on, you Spurs.
Dark Sun G saying, love the lineup. What about you? Also, I said soccer doesn't get canceled because of rain. Can't wait to see Richarlison score. And the pair of Bentancur and Skip. I actually had no idea that it was raining. It does look, kind of a bit humid, I would say, kind of out there, which is something I'm quite used to. But yeah, Dark Sun G. I mean, probably rain or shine. They're going to get this game out. I think there's probably very little that could stop this or prevent this. The lineup is looking strong. The lineup is looking very strong. In fact, the majority of those players, more or less played a huge part in getting us top four, Dark Sun G. That's basically the top four, sort of kind of, 8, 9 of those players could be, kind of in that top four kind of, team from last season. Very, very strong one. And then Bentancur and Skip, who we never actually got to see play together, is also happening for the first time.
Yeah, and Dark Sun G was, some people were saying in the pre-match build-up earlier on this morning that, the game could be called off because it's monsoon season. And look, Dark Sun G said, not a hope in hell will it. So big up Dark Sun G, my man. Big up. Absolute legend. Absolute legend.
He also follow up with another one saying, I think he's just responding to, Matt's excellent analysis earlier, saying Lee Sung-woo and Pike Sung-ho are former Barca youth. For your information. Also, Kwang Cheng-hoon has European experience, and Kim Jin-soo is our number 1 left back for Korea. I think Maddie, did excellent research there, Dark Sun G, because clearly, as much as we might not know all these players, they do actually play, for some pretty competitive teams and do actually play in a lot of cases as the starters for their national team, a national team that just made it to the World Cup and could even maybe advance out of that group. So absolutely, Dave. I mean, these aren't, the NS Muras of the world, I would say, actually, not really as I would say nearly as much of a farmers league. If you ask me, plenty of these players have actually played at a high level at some stage in their career.
And look, Jack and Matty, this isn't their first rodeo, by the way. They've done this with Juventus not so couple of seasons back as well. So, some of them do have experience of playing with each other. So look, it's not going to be an easy test, but we don't want it to be an easy test whatsoever. So be interesting to see how this pans out. But as you can see, new boy Richarlison is starting. Big Ricky up top. And look, we'll start with you, Matty, and then we'll work our way to Jack. I'm just flying off the title before this game starts, but the teams are out on the pitch. Very interesting. But Matty, what do you want to see from Richarlison today, my man?
A hat trick. No, I think it's going to be a bit tricky for him to fully get properly involved in this game, fully show what he can do, because look, as we know, he's not going to be playing in that first team with Brian Hill and Lucas Moura next season. You'd imagine, well, it will be Kane, Son, Kulusevski kind of rotating in and around there, so it's not going to be the best chance to show what he can do and what he can link up. But at the end of the day, we don't really need to see that in preseason. I think what we need is to see him getting involved and getting immersed in the new system that he's going to be playing, which I think is definitely going to be the case today. You can see he's going to be the central man with Brian Hill and Lucas Moura out wide. So playing that role, maybe dropping a little bit deep, allowing Brian and Lucas to come in a little bit more narrow and try get space in between that back four there as well, which a bit in the kind of Kane role. I think we're hoping that Richarlison can be an alternative for Kane, but can also play in different ways. And I think we might see that versatility from him today.
Yeah.
Which
is
a
different type of striker, which will be really fun to see. Someone who plays, very, very different to Kane. And to be fair, who really plays like Kane, at the end of the day. So we'll get to see someone, plays more like that regular number 9 sort of mold. And what I'm actually really excited about is sort of, that pace in behind, which he is going to be bringing, and we have had success before seeing players like Steven Bergwijn, be able to make runs in behind and be able to cause a bit of problem. What I do like about Richarlison, he has a bit of the pace, but he runs with power. I mean, he is a huge guy at the end of the day. So when you do see that guy running at full speed, I don't really think you're going to be able to pull on his kit or anything, to bring him back. He's almost like a freight train running through that middle of the back line. I'm really excited. Any through ball that could be played by Bentancur or a Skip, I feel like Richarlison could catch maybe that back line off guard. But again, this K-League 11, I feel like, they're kind of probably really up for this one and probably really prepare for this one. There is going to probably be some pregame nerves, maybe with some players, definitely some loose touches. I would expect maybe from players like Emerson, maybe some preseason loose touches and whatnot. So who knows? It could be a bit of a stalemate, a bit of kind of a tough one to predict in the first 5-6 minutes, or someone like a Richarlison could, bag a brace within 15 minutes, like you were saying, Maddie. It could be that sort of game.
I think on that point of the maybe loose preseason touches or something like that, it is probably relevant to point out that this is the middle of the season for these K-League players. This isn't their preseason. It's a weird one in my opinion, but they're taking their time to do this in the middle of the season, so they're not going to have any of that rustiness Their fitness is going to be at a very, very high level, and Tottenham's probably will be as well. But the kind of match fitness and match sharpness will probably be there a little bit more for the opposition. So it could be a bit of a tough start, but I think once the team grows into it, once we maybe bring on those stronger players for the second half as well, the likes of Kane, Son, even Kulusevski did make it onto the bench. I think we could see a little bit more in the second half.
Bit of a coin toss between the K-League captain and Eric Dyer here, exchanging the flags, exchanging the banners. Beautiful little picture there. I must say, Matt, the kit actually looks really good now the more that I look at it. It's just one of those ones. Do you feel like maybe just the photo, the way it was taken, maybe made Spurs fans, kind of react a bit too strongly? Because I kind of like the home kit, to be fair. It actually looks really good. It looks really clean.
I like it. I said from that first picture, I think with the kits, when they're not on in pictures like that, they always look a little bit worse. Remember the Galaxy kit that we had last season? It looked a lot worse when we got those first pictures. But when you saw it on the players, I think you kind of start to grow into it a little bit. But I've been a fan from this kit since minute one. The only thing that's made me doubt how much I like it is the yellow strips. Someone photoshopped those to be black, and it looked a lot nicer as black. But I think the yellow strips are really nice. It's this is a kit that we're going to win a trophy in, so we're all going to love it anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And, someone I was kind of talking to you in the back end, was actually Hill Messi, coming into this one. There are a lot of players, Matt, who are going to have to, maybe prove Conte wrong, maybe make a huge impression on him this season. Who knows? Do you think someone like a Hill Messi perhaps gets an assist, maybe just has a really good 45 minutes that makes Conte rethink?
Yeah, I think that's why he's been included in here, because it can happen. And we know, look, Conte demands a lot in every aspect from all of his players, but the fact that Brian Hill he was leading some of the fitness drills yesterday as well, or the day before, I think that's gonna endear him a lot to the manager as well. So hopefully, he's an option. Whether he's the best one there, he's an option.
And hopefully Sessegnon doesn't kick on the way he needs to go on, because he just lost the ball with his first pass. Absolutely sloppy.
He did.
Preseason touches, Dave.
Yeah, I hope that's the case, Jack. I really do. Look, I still have my reservations about Sessegnon. I still don't think he's as good as everybody else rates him to be, but we'll wait and see. But just in terms of Richarlison, I'm actually delighted he's not playing up there with Kane and Son. I asked this question in the pre-match build-up, and I basically asked, would you rather see Richarlison with Kane and Son, or would you rather see him on his own and see if he can lead the line and what he can do? And look, for me, I would much rather see him on his own, so I'm delighted he's up there. But I think we'll see a good game from him, I really do. I think he'll want to hit the ground running for sure.
Yeah.
It's a throw-in for K-League 11 here, down in the top, down in their half. Oh, and it's Tottenham's throw-in now. Eric Dyer is on the ball.
No messing about there by Romero.
No, I love that. Start as you mean to go on. Let's see how good he is on the ball. Oh, look at that. Beautiful little pass into Ben Davies. Popping it around. Oh, he gives away the ball there. Come on, Romero. You're better than that. It's the K-League 11 on the attack. Tried to play a little ball in. Sanchez is there to mop it up.
Sessegnon driving.
That's a free. Well done, referee. He knows what the whistle is. That's what we love to see.
He knows where it is, Dave. He knows where it is. No, Dave, sometimes we've said this before. The referee can forget his cuffs. He can forget his, his whistle at home. It seems like, he's brought everything. As we know, very professional.
No, very professional. I just want to shout out a few people. Big up Mark. Big up Derek Hutchinson. Big up Wolves F1. Allstars. Big up Ian Ferguson. Matthew Matt. Paul Holden. Derek Hutch. I already said Derek. You're getting a double. Big up DMT85. Shamu Van Woo. Big up my man. Mysterious Gamer. Who else did I miss out? And make sure I have it. The Hottest Spur. Big up Paddy Higgins. Top 943. Ewan O'Connor. Big yourself up. Carl Higgins. Rory Woods. Ribsy 85. Great to see you in the building. For Earth below. Big yourself up. And big up Antonio Montana as well. And Sue Smith. And big up Adrian Chia with the super chat. He says, big up,
lads. Done your 42 sprints yet as a warm-up. I think Dave probably looked like you did those 42 sprints to get to the toilet earlier. So I think Dave is actually, just probably, raring to go here. And maybe Matt and I just need to catch up, get our sprints in later.
I could barely sleep last night, my man. I think I got about 4 hours sleep before I was up this morning. I'm just super excited to have Tottenham back. Honestly, it was like Christmas morning. Like everyone knows, for me, I have nothing else better to be doing but watching Tottenham. Like when Tottenham are on, the whole world for Davey, it stops, and it's the way it should be. And
They
So,
found Dave
yeah.
actually, he's Dave, you're probably having, kind of, some sleepwalking, and stuff like that. Maybe even doing your sleep sprinting, last night you were that excited. You just decided to get your own sprints in because, you're seeing, the Marine being brought in, seeing how
That gave
fit,
me
Harry
nightmares.
Kane is looking. You want to look just as fit as Harry Kane now. So Dave, I can't blame you. Get your 42 sprints
No,
in.
look, the Marine gave me nightmares, Jack. In fact, what I did do is sleepwalk straight to the fridge, my man. I was like, I was comfort eating with nightmares, thinking about what this guy would do to me. Matty, actually, what do you think on the preseason so far? I mean, the 42 lengths Jack is speaking about, that was, after a 2-hour training session and their second session of the day.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
That is, that's it's a good ball into the box. Well shaded out by Sessegnon. That's what you want. That's what you bring Conte in for. We were speaking about, last season when Conte came in November. Obviously, it was fantastic for us. We saw the fitness numbers. We were rock bottom and everything with Nuno going up to the top with Antonio Conte. That being done mid-season is not easy at all. But now he gets the preseason, he's not gonna make it easy for these players, and you don't want him to make it easy because we need that fitness. We need to be the fittest team in the league. I think we are going to be the fittest team in the league, but also it'll weed out those who don't quite have the mentality that we need for the team. And maybe that is where the inclusion of the Davinson Sanchez's, Brian Hill, Lucas Moura, maybe that's where that comes into in this preseason. But I'm sure that all of these players will, even if it's out of fear, they'll buy into what Conte is trying to make him do. And we're going to be a very fit team next season and one that's going to compete.
Yeah, I really think so. And as well, I think, do you know what the biggest thing with the fitness? The fitter you are, the sharper you are up here, the more you have it up here. And I think that'll be a huge benefit mentally to the players as well. Romero is rolling around on the ground. Let's see what happened here. He's gone up for the header, gone completely over the Korean player, and he's fallen on his back. It's grand. He'll be grand. Just a bit of a sore tailbone. So I wouldn't recommend running straight to the toilet, Romero. But yeah, a bit of ice on that, and that'll be sorted out.
Big up Zoe in the house. Good to see you, Zoe. Big up Shamu. Big up Wayne Bonner as well. Good to see you, Wayno.
Absolute legend. Sonny on the bench looking. There'll be a stampede on the pitch if he doesn't come on at halftime.
Thoughts on how fit Harry Kane is already looking, Dave? He's looking tanner than usual, looking, fitter than usual. That's what I'm saying, because I thought, if you saw your man working out, via the Marine, you figure maybe take a bit of inspiration from Harry Kane, but it seems like even the Marine has scared you off.
Yeah, look, the Marine, Jack, I'll be honest, I wouldn't last 2 minutes with the Marine, to be honest. I'd just be like, look, fuck off. You know what I mean?
Good to see Harry, though, maybe looking fitter than usual.
Yeah, look, when it comes to Harry Kane, he looks great, Jack. The only thing that's bugging me a bit slightly is his haircut. He's Premier League star. Probably do better than that. It's a shit
shocking pass from Sanchez.
Again, I was having this discussion on We Are Tottenham TV.
No.
He's such a bonehead, Sanchez is.
Beautiful from Bentancur earlier. Skip, you're getting in his way there.
That's it, Bentancur, you animal.
Love it. Drive, Lucas. Hill Messi.
Come on, Hill Messi. Set Richarlison off. Oh, lovely step over. He's looking for a ball. He's gone out wide to Sessegnon. Let's see what Sessegnon could do here. He's gone back inside to Bentancur. Look at that. As cool as a cucumber.
Bentancur had some lovely touches, actually, earlier. I think just a few minutes ago, he was able to get out a bit of trouble earlier. So Bentancur is, no preseason loose touches for Bentancur by the looks of it.
Oh, what a flick!
I love the way how quick they are moving the ball. It's Lucas Moura cutting inside. Can he unleash one? He does.
Lucas!
Oh, it's gone wide. He's screaming for a corner kick, but I think he shanked that effort really. But there's your first effort on goal from Lucas Moura. Good ball in by Sessegnon. Great flick by Richarlison. Oh, the Brazilian magic. And then Lucas picks up the ball, runs through the middle, and it's gone wide. But what a flick by Richarlison. That's absolutely beautiful. Not too far away from Lucas Moura either. Good positive start by Richarlison, linking up with Lucas, boys.
Yeah, honestly, and also someone said, Dave, that Hill Messi's playing a bit through the middle. Darren is saying that DMT 85. Be kind of interested. It's something we've seen before, actually, from Hill Messi, Dave. He'll actually drift in a bit inside, kind of like how Lucas does, from that right wing as well. So be actually interested to see how they all combine. I really like, the Lucas, Richarlison, Hill Messi sort of kind of combination. It just sounds nice on paper, even, to be fair, Dave.
No, it really does. It sounds good on paper. And look, Messi has a point to prove. Who's on the ball there? Bentancur. Look how cool he is. And do you know what? It's interesting to see how quick we're actually moving the ball. If you notice, we're not taking 10 touches at the back. Well, now Boots is on it. He's took 3. But Conte has instructed these players, and he bollocked Doherty in training the other day for not moving the ball quick enough. So it's something he definitely wants to get onto. See that Moon Boots 2 touches. He's getting it now. poor guy gives him takes him a
Good
while.
touch from Hill Messi. Good pass from Brendan Austin there, though, to be fair. Matt, Brendan Austin, like some people actually who have seen, a bit of, kind of the, the youth, some of the kind of the younger players for Spurs have said that he is actually quite a bit of shithousery from Richarlison, which you already love. But Matt, Brandon Austin, does he have a chance at third keeper? Are we going to send him out on loan again? Is he someone that could potentially be like a keeper for the future, like a very talented one at that? Any thoughts on him?
I think we're probably getting to the point of Austin's career where there's going to have to be a decision made, whether he can be kind of the second choice keeper for Spurs or not. He's 23 years of age. He's had a couple of loans. He was at Orlando City, was the early part of last year. He played a handful of games for them. There's no doubt he's a talented goalkeeper. He wouldn't still be in the squad after being there under Poch, Mourinho, Nuno, Mason, and now Conte. He wouldn't still be there. He wouldn't be on this trip if there wasn't talent there. But getting the age he's at, 23, you'd assume he's getting to the point now where he's just not happy to be that third choice keeper. Maybe he's looking at next season when Lloris, when he heads off, and when Forster, you would assume, will be leaving as well. Maybe he see a place. Maybe he can earn that place of competition next season. But I think we're probably coming into the last 12 months where a decision has to be made on him. But let's see how he does today. He's been given a good opportunity starting this one, so hopefully he can show what he's worth.
And hopefully, I really want to see Josh Keeley in the second half. That'd be absolutely awesome. Look, I'm not sure Brandon Austin will make it at Tottenham, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I think, look, he's 23. They probably would have kept him as backup and not got Fraser Forrester in if they had plans for him, in my opinion. So I'd be surprised. But look, even Josh Keeley might not make it, but I just still want to see him. It's a ball in here by the K-League 11. Well cleared out by, who was that? Not sure. I think that was...
Darren saying, I think the K-League will be pretty up for it. They have a good opportunity for the world to see. Might maybe get, kind of spotted, et cetera. I like that kind of, take. And Matt also said, I believe, they're in the middle of their season right now. And so they're kind of more warmed up than, the rest of us. And we do have to take them kind of seriously in that regard. Of course, it is just a preseason friendly. But maybe what I'm trying to convey here, Matt, is that this is actually a tougher opponent than, let's say, I think what we did last time, Colchester or whoever it was, at this stage in the season. Like this is, very much, actually a pretty formidable opponent to have your first game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we said, like Dark G said, there are international players in this team, like Kim Jin-soo out in left back. They're players who play in, well, for some of them, depending on what team they're at. Oh, that's a lovely flick by, is that Romero? Play in the AFC Champions League. They come up against some of the best clubs in Asia. They're talented footballers, and look, they're not at a level where I'd expect them to beat Tottenham. I know we're obviously going to be rotating.
Oh, you got to play them. Sorry, Matty. He's
No
got to play him there, Emerson.
Yeah, but this is a good challenge for us. It's definitely a good challenge on the fitness side of things as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look, there's obviously the commercial benefit of going out to Korea as well. So I think it's going to be a very beneficial preseason for us.
It's Gil Messi. Oh,
Poked away.
Unlucky, Gil Messi. Unlucky.
Emerson almost had a slip through ball there, Dave. He almost had a slip through ball there. It almost could have been beautiful. Could have played his man Richarlison in.
It would have been nice for him to. It would have been nice for that ball to go through because it would have maybe got people off his back and it might buy him a bit longer in the Spurs jersey where you look at him like, hang on, maybe he does have some end product. So
you don't think he bought himself a bit of time with the agent Emerson, kind of looks that we're getting so
far, I like Emerson. I like Emerson, but if I'm being realistic, I do think we need to upgrade in that position and get rid of one of either Emerson or Doherty. Look, if I had my way, I'd probably keep Emerson. I'd look for someone better going forward, in my opinion, because I think Emerson is better defensively than what Matt Doherty is. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen there. Matty, any updates on a right wing back situation, or is it still the same news on Jeds? Oh, it's a ball in behind.
Off the back of the
it's come off the back of his head. Well done.
Offside.
It's offside. Wow. That's grand. Matty, any more updates on a right wing back?
It just seems to be we're still in advanced talks with Middlesbrough over Jed Spence, and we're still optimistic of a deal being completed soon, and we still want it to happen. And Middlesbrough, it's a very, very strange affair. You can kind of tell that Daniel Levy is running the negotiations, as we know. But having said that, some reports are suggesting that maybe it's Middlesbrough who keep moving the goalposts. So I wouldn't put this one. I wouldn't blame Daniel Levy on this one. It's just a very, very strange situation where Middlesbrough.
You animal.
There's a chance here.
Oh, Oh, play him.
Bentancur.
Play Gil Messi. Bentancur, he shoots.
Oh,
I should have slipped Gil Messi in, but what a challenge. He came careering through like a steam train. Absolutely love it. He bodied him. Absolutely.
he's looking fine in this preseason, Dave. He's just looking, I don't even know what it is. Maybe he's been working out this whole time. He was seen on vacation, I believe, Dave, kind of looking pretty, fit and whatnot. Perhaps there's just no such thing as a preseason, for Bentancur, Dave. And I saw that really good question that you had about him and Kulusevski.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just kicking on from where he started. He's not going to, get back into things. He's just going to kick on from where he started.
I really do hope so. I really hope Bentancur and Kulusevski can kick on because, look, it's going to be hard for them to have a similar impact that they had last season. But Tottenham
Charlison!
I'm
gonna bash!
Shoot! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
How has he missed that?
2 yards out. He's about 50 minutes behind. Oh my god! What about Charlison though? He beats one, then he rounds the keeper. It goes a little bit ahead of him. And then Emerson is just waiting there to pounce. Look at this. Great 1-2 with Emerson and Richarlison to start with. Richarlison beats one, beats the keeper, gets it a bit of ahead himself. Emerson,
my Lord.
How does he miss? Honestly, I could have done that with my eyes closed. He's 4 yards
Oh, my
out.
Lord.
He's on the stretch, but he's got to put that.
He tried to tackle it instead of shoot it, even, Dave. He doesn't know how to shoot. All he knows how to do is get stuck in. All he knows how to do is get stuck in. He doesn't even know how to shoot, Dave.
See the look on Romero's face there when he turned around. He's like, what?
I would have put
what
that
am I playing with?
I would have put that in after having about 50 points. That's ridiculous. And I would have seen triple. I still would have put it in. Fuck me, Emerson. Come on, kid. I really want it to work out, but you're not helping me here. You're not helping me, Emerson. Help me. Go.
On the positive side, that was a very well-timed run by Richarlison.
It was.
Because John Tae-Wook tried to play that offside trap, but he curved that run very well. It was a good ball through. Probably just a few loose touches, bit of rustiness, but he's getting involved. I like to see it.
It's exciting me, though. He's had a few decent touches so far. So he's definitely exciting me, and he's definitely handling it for sure. Everyone smash that like button as well. It's a massive help with the YouTube algorithm. Feel free to smash that subscribe button if you are new. And guys, keep getting your comments in the chat. We are seeing them. We will start bringing them up as well. And guys, feel free to make it a super chat and help support everything myself and Jack are trying to do here. But if not, at least get your comments in. But Tottenham have started off really well. Very good. Do you know what I like so far that I've noticed? Some very good high pressing. But 1 second. K-League are on the attack here. They have it. Oh, well done. Davinson Sanchez. Oh, Jesus, that was a risky. That guy is going to give me. He's my new player this season. That'll give me a heart attack. Oh, play him, Lucas. Play him. How many more touches do you want?
Oh, God.
Everybody. Jesus Christ. He made about 6 different attempts to run in behind there, and you didn't play him, and now you're going to look at him and give him the eyes. Fuck off. Do better. Piss me off already.
I think there's an opportunity to get him behind there because John Tae-Wook again played that offside trap, but the rest of the defense stayed where it was. So I think this is where you might start to see little different things because obviously these players don't play together. Kind of different, what they're used to in different ways, kind of working against them there. There could be a Rudin behind there on that right-hand side of the K-League defense.
That's so annoying. I agree with you, actually, Matty. That's very well spotted. And we seem to be pressing them very well, very high up the pitch, which I love as well. Unlike last season where we kind of sat back into shape and then look to counter, we're pressing them high and trying to put the onus on us. And that is absolutely
shocking.
ridiculous. Who done that? Take
Emerson.
him off now. Who?
It was Emerson.
Take him off right now. That's a miss. That's a shit pass that he could have played through to Richarlison and a bad back ball. Get him off the field now. He's atrocious. 15 minutes into preseason, he's already pissing me off.
It's going to be a long season for you, Dave.
It's going to be a long season, lad. A long, long season. Even Lucas Moura there. I know why he didn't pass to Richarlison. I know why. I've been there. He doesn't want Richarlison to make his... Look, he's going to say, yeah, I want Richarlison to make an impact. But deep down, he wants to be the one scoring the goals. He wants to be the one with the assist. But, he doesn't want Richarlison to come in here and take him out of the squad altogether straight away. That's why he didn't pass him the ball. Very selfish. He should have played him.
It's actually a dangerous moment there. The corner put in from the K-League team. Credit to the edge of the box to Polosevic. Hit it on his left foot, but it was blocked. Got to be careful of that because he knows how to find the back of the net from distance. To pick him up at the edge of the box.
Itch that is making it in the Korean League, I would imagine, is probably a very underrated itch at that. So yeah, it definitely could be a danger, man.
Speaking of that, I've got an itch in my throat and it's really annoying.
And he's playing through the middle as well. I think he's sort of kind of their number 10 in this team.
Big Mike is telling me to chill. It's only preseason. Mikey boy, look, my man, I'm sorry. I know it's only preseason. I get it. But for me, this is like a Champions League final. I can't help it. It's the start of the season. For me, I want to win every single game. Do you know what? With the fitness regime, with the signings, I want to beat teams. I want to beat them so badly that it sends out a statement of intent heading into the season. And I already have teams thinking their bet before you go there. That would be ideal. So for me, I know it's preseason, but I don't care. I want to win. Every single game, I want to win. Training matches, if Harry Kane's on the team, I want to win. And that's how it is, my man. K-League, we're on the ball here. What can I do? That's it, Gil Messi. Now we're sitting deep into shape. I don't like this. Get up and press them, guys.
You can see where they're trying to open us up. They've Kim Jin-soo playing right out in that far flank on the left-hand side. They're just trying to really stretch us. That switch ball is on a lot, but we seem to be shifting across well to deal with that.
Know. They just know Emerson.
Oh, he'll Messi.
Lucas.
Please.
Lucas, great play.
Come on.
Go on, Lucas.
Oh, lovely.
Go on, Skippy.
Come on, Skip.
Give it to Emerson. Give it to him. Out one. Yes. Good ball. Strike it, son.
Kill. Oh!
Oh!
Could have cut it back to Skip. Maybe could have cut it back to Skip.
Play. Great ball in by Emerson. Good ball in. Gil Messi just couldn't get enough on it. Dribbles into the keeper's hands. But that is good. Look at Skip marauding through the midfield. Look at that. The Korean wind sweeping back his hair. That's beautiful. Emerson. Good ball in. Gil Messi. Unlucky.
Did Gil Messi score in preseason last season? Or are we still waiting for his first goal in any capacity? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. I'll be honest, Matty. My memory can't really remember too much from last week, let alone last season. So, beautiful. Emerson on the ball here again. Back to little Gil Messi. Look at this. He's pulling the strings. It's like Lionel Messi. To Session nearly falls over the ball. Back inside the Bentoncourt. Come on, Benty. Show me what we're made of. Into Skip. Look at that. Still the wind sweeping through his hair. It's beautiful. What are you doing? Fucking Session.
Well in, Sanchez.
Well done, Sanchez.
It's a lovely ball out wide. Session. Get your first touch right, kid. Well done. He goes on it. Even they know he wants to go on his left. Even they know he wants to go on his left. Fuck me, kid.
That's good defending. Credit where it's due.
My problem is with Session, Matty, right, is maybe I should actually explain this before I go mad. Probably make more sense. But the problem for me with Session is last season, everybody knows he wanted to go on his left. So what they done is they were happy for him to go on his left, but then most of the time they tried to show him back on his right, knowing he's no right foot. Pre-season, get used to cutting back on your right foot, get the ball into the box.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe that's why Perisic has come in. He can play off both feet very, very well. That kind of unpredictability, a little bit different.
I hope so. It's a Tottenham corner. Let's see what we can do here. It's a beautiful... Oh, no one attacking it. Eric Dyer half asleep, wondering what's going on in Carnage.
Skippy.
Lovely, Skippy.
With the Cruyff turn.
Switch that. Love that.
Beautiful. Gil Messi. Run, Sanchez. What a ball in behind.
Sanchez.
It's a good save. It's probably the cleanest Sanchez has ever struck.
Why are we looking for a backup number 9 when we have Davinson Sanchez? He seems to be better as a backup number 9 than he is as a center back. I swear, the man actually has a decent finish on him. He's good in the air. He's excellent in the air. Honestly, Dave, maybe we should consider him as a backup number 9. Perhaps he's got his position wrong his whole life. You'd rather him be slipping and sliding in the box when, he has the ball at his feet, in the opposition box than, as a defender. So, I don't know, Dave. He'd win us a few penalties. Kind of thinking about this.
Time in the run, 10 out of 10. Cleanness of the shot. I mean, it's the cleanest I've ever seen him connect with the ball. Bottom corner! Richarlison back post.
Just over the head.
Nearly gets there. It's a very good start by Tottenham, though, boys, isn't it? Very good start. Entertaining chances. Solid ish at the back. It's brilliant.
That's what I like about having a strong lineup, though, as well, because then we just get to see some players that, we're looking forward to, some players that might prove that some things wrong. But, just a good lineup, to look at. Zoe saying, buy Spurs play. Every pound goes towards the Bastoni fund. Matt, if anything, we're going to have to find a way to, get that Bastoni fund ready because likely we're not getting him this summer, but there could be a big bidding war maybe the following summer or something. Even the Gavardio fund as well, whatever you want it to be, it's going to have to be some sort of fund for your favorite center backs.
If it's a Bastoni fund that we're getting this for, I'm gifting a membership to everybody in the live chat right now. If it's for Bastoni, everyone who's watching, everyone who's not watching, I don't know if your parents, your grandparents, your kids, your grandkids, your cousins, your dogs, if they need memberships, I'll pay for it. Just get Bastoni in, please.
Speaking of gifting out memberships, actually, Rob earlier on the pre-match build-up gifted out 5 channel memberships.
Oh, good.
Sessignon.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. I mean, if that was a game of volleyball, that's brilliant. Put it back where it came from, but fuck me.
Did we just say Emerson on the wing?
Uh-oh.
Good ball. That was,
There's a
something I
chance.
haven't said in a
But
while.
yeah,
as well.
sorry, big up Rob, my man. Absolute generous giving out the 5-channel memberships. And we just had a chance there.
Oh,
my
it's a
God,
penalty.
Oh my
That
God.
has to be a penalty.
Sanchez.
You idiot.
They've not given it.
He's given it.
He hasn't. I think he's given a goal kick.
What? That's a penalty all day long.
Yeah,
my
no,
God.
that Joe Gusson can't believe it.
That's a penalty all day long. That's so clumsy. He can't even. He turns like a roundabout. He's 2 feet across
Stonewall.
each other when he's trying to turn. Oh my God.
Oh, that is Stonewall.
This is why he needs to be up front, Dave. This is why he needs to be up front, not back here.
I mean, his feet didn't get that cross when he was up front. Just turn like a normal human. Just a normal human being.
But he can't do it. He can't, Dave, but he does it when he's up front. He'll turn perfectly.
Remember last time that happened against Man City? He got his legs that tangled. He ended up tasting the grass. I mean, he must just want to see what it tastes like in South Korea.
The hottest Spurs saying Levy maybe paid off the ref there. Perhaps, maybe he's just saying, listen, you have to give us the first goal. I think that's maybe what happened there. Even, the K-League, coach seems a bit, kind of flabbergasted there. Probably a bit surprised. He's just looking for the brown envelopes because, Dave, I must say, this is the first time we've said this in a while as Spurs fans. I'm kind of liking this referee, Dave. Really am.
No, I like him. Look, I mean, maybe Paratici brought them all out last night. 5-star treatment, nice meal, good hotel. How was the mattress? Would you want me to get you a different one, new one, comfier? I mean, brilliant decision by the referee. I'm all for this.
Dark Sun G saying we are playing good without Son, Kane, and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and a few more as well that we're actually missing. Dark Sun G, and as well, I think we have to take into consideration this K-League team. I mean, they do look very, very good, and we have been, kind of threatened a few times by them on certain occasions. As much as I think we've threatened their goal, they've threatened ours as well. So it's actually just a good match in general. But a ball in behind.
Oh, it's good goalkeeping.
Oh, Session pulled out. He's got to go and meet that with his head.
He'd be
no Sonny,
murdered
no
if he
Kane
met that
right
with his
now.
head.
No Sonny, no Kane, no Højbjerg right now, Dave. We do have a few players missing, but it's nice to see that we're not actually playing Son, Kane, and Højbjerg, right now. We get to, field a strong lineup without them.
No, it's absolutely brilliant to see. I mean, look, bar Romero, maybe Dyer. A lot of these players probably will be playing the likes of cup games and stuff, and it's good to see that they can press high as a team, but they can also play ball as a team. So it means when we go into games against the likes of Morecambe, Colchester, we should just be playing them off the park. So it's great to see, and it's great to see that.
Oh, lovely.
Like, because if Kane and Son do get injuries, that other players can step up. Now, look.
Go on, Richarlison.
Oh, go on. Just skin him. Go on, please do it for me.
Just score. Oh, Richarlison.
Honestly, we have bought some
Sir.
Sell Kane and Son now. We don't need him.
For people at home that maybe is not watching the game, gets the ball, pulls two of them in, pulls it back, knocks it by him, and draws the free kick. That's beautiful. Look at that. Boom. Thank you very much. He was waiting for him to stick out the leg. It was like Christmas when it came.
Gorgeous by Richie there.
Sanchez on the ball. What can he do? Get the head up, son.
Oh, Dink.
And you know what? That run there by Sessegnon, that's exactly the type of pass that Clement Longley specializes in. That's exactly the type of ball that he plays every time.
Good ball out to Session. Come on, open it up to Jets. He's probably tired from the 42 lengths. But no, you're right, Matty. You're right. And that's the difference. That's why we've been looking for a left-footed ball player down that side. If you look at the targets, Pastoni, Gvardiol, Pau Torres, Clement Langley, it's clear we wanted someone that's better at passing on the left foot than what Ben Davies is. And you're right. Once Clement Langley is in, that ball's over the top. Harry Kane, Richarlison, Son, whoever's up front, just make your line, make a run to the 6-yard box.
Ripsy85 saying, I'm with you, Jack. He's clearly a 9. Can't possibly be a center back. I think that's just what it is. I think we're supposed to be buying a center back from Ajax. Turns out he actually was just a striker in the making. Looks like Ripsy. So hopefully we do get him the right position. Someone said he needs to be back in London. Never mind up front with Sanchez. Big up Dave Billabong. Great name as well. But everybody's just saying it was a pen. I mean, I guess we just got away with one there. Dave, if it had been a pen, would you be, I don't know, would you be raging? Would you be kind of understanding? I mean, where would your head be at if that had been given a pen?
Look, it's preseason, but I'm not going to start giving them excuses because then when the shit hits the fan, when it matters, they'll also be looking for the same excuses. So I'm not going to give it to them. Now, when it comes to Davinson Sanchez, I've made my opinion clear on the guy. I think he's an absolute donkey. I don't think he's good enough. I get that he's now back up. But everyone talks about the first 3 games and the last 3 games. He kept clean sheets. Brilliant. Fantastic. I mean, that's what we should have got for the 50-plus previous games he's played for us. But then when no one wants to talk about the actual run where he played 10, 11, 12 games on the bounce, he was an absolute shambles. He was absolute shambles. He was falling all over the place. His passes was atrocious. And look, for me, I'll be honest, I think he deserves to be left at home more than what Reguilon does. And if that was a penalty, I would have put him on the next flight home. I would have said, look, you're off at half-time. Flight is in half an hour.
I love that, Emerson.
Good luck. Because if it's going to happen against the K-League, it's going to happen against teams better than us. It's just inevitable. So, look, I hope he proves me wrong. We were having this discussion on Weird Tottenham TV before we started this. And Pete... Me, I just don't see it with the guy. I really don't. I really want to, like, for me, I say coming into this window, defense is the biggest upgrades we need. So for me, I'd like to see more defenders come in here, and then that puts the potential for him to be sold.
Even Dave, actually, you don't even need to worry if it was a pen, because Ribsy is saying, if it were a pen, that Austin kid is saving it. So don't you worry. It wouldn't have mattered. He would have, just gotten us out, bailed us out of jail there. Love to see Emerson, showing a bit of the weight room there earlier, which was nice to see as well. Because Dave, they are hitting, the gym very, very hard, and Emerson's already showing players the weight room.
No, he is. It's absolutely great to see.
No, Messi, skip.
1-2 with Dyer.
Hit it, Dyer. Hit it.
Oh, no, it's Dyer. Oh, what a hit.
What a strike.
My boots. No. Moondog, where's your bet? Where's your bet, Moondog?
Oh, Moondog. I hope you had the bet on. I told you there was one coming. He just plays a lovely 1-2 with Gil Messi. He marauders through the middle. He is like a stallion in the Grand National looking to win it. Look at that. Just gets on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now take as many touches as you want. Boom.
That's his weak foot.
Moondoggy, I hope you had a bet on. I really do. What a finish by Moon Boots. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to call
all our
him
center backs should be up front, Dave. They're never center backs. I told you, Dave. Most of our center backs should be strikers.
Jack, if he gives me more of this, his nickname is changed from Moon Boots to Rocket Boots.
Rocket Boots. Oh, what a finish, honestly. And he actually just curled that as well away from the keeper with the left foot, Dave. It wasn't like he really, hit it like a stinger. He kind of actually curled it as well after smacking it with the left foot. Honestly, never thought he had it in him, Moon Boots. Never thought he did, Dave. And, normally he likes to take 6, 7 touches, deep in his own back line. He was showing some urgency there, Dave. He was showing some urgency.
He probably wants to make it home in time for Coronation Street, the omnibus track.
He's getting impatient.
I absolutely love it, but it's preseason when Rocket Boots is doing that. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, what a strike. Harry Kane's sitting there in awe. He's in awe. He's not even blinking. He's like, what the fuck did I just see from Eric Matty? I mean, what a goal. What's going on here?
On mute.
Oh no, Matty's not there.
Maybe he's gone. Matty's gone. Sorry, we're not looking at the screen, but we're looking at our beautiful. We're looking at our beautiful moon boots, Dave. We're looking at our beautiful moon boots. Now we're looking at our beautiful moon dog, and he says, "Dyer's taking the Mickey out of me." Late now.
Please say you got it on.
No, he isn't, Dave. I was chatting to him on Flatcap, Dave. I was chatting to him on Flatcap, and he and I were discussing. I was like, "Who's going to be, your new player for next season?" And he said, "Jack, I'm not sure." He said he felt like sticking with moon boots for this season, but. He clearly, wasn't, he's a bit hesitant, for this one because he didn't want to do it right away. So Moondog, if anything, this might be the season. Who knows? Maybe 6 goals, 6 assists from Eric Dyer. Who knows, Moondog? Who knows? The guy's looking absolutely filthy. And the way he even combined as well, with Hill Messi there was just gorgeous. A little flick on 1-2, through the middle. So Moondog, perhaps Hill Messi, Eric Dyer might be the new solution for next season. A bit of combination there. It's just gorgeous to see, my man. And honestly, yeah, after all those, misses from last season, after how many times he hit the post and everything, Moondog, I mean, the guy's absolutely taking the mick out of you, my man.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. Moondog will change his name to Rocket Boots, so you need to change your name to Rocket Dog, my man. Big up, absolute legend. But yeah, Eric Dyer, I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Matty is back here with us, so we'll find out now in a sec what Matty thinks of it. But yeah, guys, update. No more Moon Boots. It's now Rocket Boots until he shows me otherwise. So Rocket Boots it is. But Matty, I mean, Rocket Boots, what a goal.
I'm expecting him to win the Golden Boot in the Premier League now. I mean, if you can do that from 25 yards in your weak foot, I mean, you should be doing it. Kane should never see a free kick ever again.
Look over your head,
I know.
Moon Boots.
Ooh,
Who's that?
Ooh.
Rodrigo Bentancur. I love it.
that's a scissor challenge. Send him off. Don't do that.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a fantastic strike by Dyer, though. I mean, where's that come from? Like, it's
Eric
just...
Cruyff Dyer says Dave Billabong off his left foot too. Jack says Ribsy, it's a decent strike. He had miles of space, to be fair, but no joke. You know, definitely, like, you know, even with miles of space, just absolute thunderbolt. Like, just said Bosch. You know, just said upper V's. Basically, that's what he was going for. And really, I don't even know if Lloris would have saved that. To be fair, it was that good of a strike. That's what I would say. Highest of compliments for Rocket Boots.
I can tell you one thing for sure: Joe Hart would not have saved that.
No, definitely
Nor Galini.
Nor Galini.
I love the way Dyer
Skippy.
looked at the keeper though and just said, "Look, pick it out, you shitbag. Just pick it out." Absolutely love that. But I want to give Gil Messi a bit of credit here because although he hasn't really set up any chances, one thing he has done, he's actually linked up play very well.
He started off moves.
Yeah, he's dropping into that space rather than going in behind. He's actually dropping into that space, making himself available for these little 1-2s, these little give and goes. And I like that from Gil Messi. That's something you'd see Lionel Messi do.
I think you've seen Lucas and Gil Messi, Dave, pick up the ball really, really deep actually at times, and you know, be able to link up play, you know, in kind of deep in their own half at times, or at least, you know, really a lot deeper than you would expect. So that's what I'm also liking about Brian Hill so far, is that he is sort of, you know, getting the first touch or, you know,
Sanchez.
the first pass. Sanchez, Lord.
Don't do that in preseason.
It's a ball in the box, Gilly. Oh.
He's
Emerson.
taking that right off Velvic's head.
And you know what?
Lovely Emerson.
That'll start with Session. He could have headed that back to Austin there. Go on, Gil Messi. Show me what you made of from Charleston. Go.
Session's on.
Galloping.
Good vision.
He's galloping. Oh, gorgeous.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Come on, Sess. Skin him and put it in.
Oh, yes.
It's unorthodox, but it'll work.
On the weight room.
Oh, where's the run?
Oh, come on, Richarlison. You've got to expect that.
He's flat-footed.
Yeah, he's just standing there at the back post. He's got to be on his toes. Ready
Oh, well read, Cootie.
Oh, come on,
Hill.
let's go. Get it again.
Hit it.
Oh, he's looking. He's shaping it up. Oh, he's waiting for Session to get back on side.
Session was miles on side. I don't know why he was still running backwards. He could have turned and made that run earlier.
Yeah. Oh, well done, Sanchez. Oh, it's getting easy now. These are tired. Go on, Sess.
Oh, lucky.
Go on, Richarlison. Hunt it like a dog.
Yeah, whoever Sanchez put that. Oh, was it Emerson? Because he got a little bit of a nick as well.
Oh, Emerson's down. What's wrong with him?
There's a late challenge when he played the ball up the line about 90 seconds ago.
Should be nothing wrong with him.
Shamu says Galini is still diving for that. I think he's still looking at it. I think he's still looking for it, Shamu. Yeah, he never even likes to dive at moments. It looked like
he's making a rap about that time he conceded to Dyer.
Oh, Harry Kane's got the bib on. He's warming up, applauding the crowd. They love him here. They love him. Big up, H.
And you know what?
Needs a bit more sunscreen, I would say, Harry. But
he's so red.
I just want to say, like, I know there's a lot of fans in England, you know, who have their season tickets. They go to the games every week. You know, they go home and away. They travel all over the place, and I can't say how much I respect that and the commitment that it takes. But to the small fraction of those who are saying that, you know, you shouldn't support Spurs if you're not from England, if you're not from London, you know, if you're from a different country, support your local team and stuff like that. Seeing how much this means to this packed out stadium, 50, 60,000 people in here, absolutely packed out, the smile on every single one of their faces, the way you can, the glimmer in their eye when they saw that team coming out of the airport a couple of days ago, when they see Harry Kane walking past them there. You can't possibly tell me that doesn't mean as much to all of them as it does to those people who are claiming they're not real fans. It's outrageous, and I'm delighted these fans are getting the chance to see these players in the flesh.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And look, you know, it's a dream come true for a lot of these guys. And I know Dak Sung-ji was at the airport as well. He was absolutely buzzing, and just to see the love that they've got, it's a home away from home really out there. You know, you know that they know they can go out there and they'll be idolized out there. It's
a home away from home. Yeah, beautifully said.
It's absolutely unbelievable the support they got out there. But look, with this club, that we see it, Matthias and Jack, as you know, the amount of streams we do, and you know, you see people subscribe from all over the world, and it's amazing to see the support this club does have worldwide. It's absolutely incredible. But not only that, it's the passion that they do it with, getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to watch games, and then still going to work, school, or whatever it may be. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
beautifully said, Dave. It is a home away from home for us. And I would love if, we continued to do most of our preseasons, kind of started off over here. I kind of, enjoyed the idea of it. Emerson is pulling off a bit of shithousery today. To be fair, it just gets a yellow. Earlier, he's doing a bit of diving after winning that challenge. It's nice to see that, Dave, even for preseason games, some of our players, they're still pulling off a bit of shithousery. It's actually quite hilarious to me. Shamu saying the only person that was going to save that would have been prime Matt Hayes.
Yeah, Matt's a goalkeeper.
I would have caught it. Yeah, he's right.
Matty wouldn't have caught it. He would have took that down on the chest and pinged the 50-yard pass up to the striker.
Oh, you know me too well, David.
That's always a two-handed catch for Matt there, Shamu. We all know that. That's a two-hander for him. It's just kind of like they do in the goalkeeper training. They hold it close to the chest, make it look, just to get, things warm up. It's a warm-up shot for him, Shamu. It's a warm-up shot.
I'm absolutely buzzing that we're winning this already. I mean, I know it's preseason, but it's just great to have us back. Great to see us out there playing. And some players, here we go. Look at this. Oh, Skip. Look at that. He's got the ball over. He's going that quick.
Come on, Rich.
Come on, Rich. And bang on him. Come on, kid.
Oh,
lucky. Good idea.
That's well played by Polasevic.
Look at Bentancur. Look at that. Steaming after him. Ball's gone out wide. What can they do? It's past the edge of the box. He looks like he's saving up.
Ooh,
Austin,
that was a good effort.
Love that. That's comfortable goalkeeping there.
Not there, Cootie.
Oh, well done, Romero. He's an animal. He just can't help but take someone out, can he? He just can't help it. He just cannot help but take someone out. I fucking love it about him.
He saw someone else wearing the number 17 and said there can only be one. It's a good strike by Kim Day One, to be fair.
I love him so much. I really do. He just can't help but take someone out. And and you know what I love? He always makes it look like he's going for the ball as well. Brilliant.
That's what makes that Richarlison challenge so epic, is that he obviously intentionally misses, the ball there, but really makes it, sell as if, he just kind of sort of mistimed it. But Dave, you can even see him just stutter a tiny bit, before making that challenge.
Yeah. Oh, stop.
Absolutely right.
I love him. Ooh. Everybody, there's only 74 likes and 167 watching. Everyone smash that like button. Come on, smash it, and that subscribe button as well, guys. Just keep doing the basics. And look, we're less than 50 subscribers away from reaching 7.4K. So let's see if we can start sharing this out on socials, and let's see if we can get this to 7.4K before the stream ends. But guys, I'm very happy so far with the start, to be honest with you. From 1 to 11, bar maybe Emerson and Sanchez, I think it's been a pretty good start from everybody else. Jack, would you agree?
Yeah, I would actually say what's funny, Dave, is I thought maybe Emerson and Sessegnon have sort of kind of switched. Kind of thought Sessegnon started off kind of well, and Emerson was pretty poor. And by the looks of it now, I think Emerson's doing some good things, at least going forward, as well as, getting stuck in. And Sessegnon, I kind of want to see maybe do a bit more, from the wing-back positions. But to be fair, this is sort of the problem that, we've always had, where we know they're good defensively, and, they kind of need to develop this preseason. These are good opportunities for them to get confidence going forward, and be able to, develop that side of their game, which is a weakness. Sanchez getting megged there with the through pass.
Oh, good block.
again. He's dangerous.
That was a stupid clearance.
Back post.
Ooh.
He's got a wicked left foot in him. He has.
Yeah, that must be. And also, I think Dark Sunji even said that is the starting left back for Korea as well. So, I mean, that's a no joke player. That's a no joke player then. And I actually think their number 9 is actually quite good as well. What if you remember his name, Matt? I think he's had
Chogu Sung. Yeah, he's the second top scorer in the league this season with 12.
He has good hold up play, and he's a big lad as well, and he has good hold up play.
That was shocking play by Skip, but you can see what the K League are doing. They're doubling up on Emerson down that side on the attack every single time. Every single time. I think they sense a weakness down that side. And if they sense it, oh, well done. Come on, Gil. Come on.
In the middle. Nah.
Charlison, come on, offer. Win behind.
Ben Kaufman's in the house, Dave, and he said, Dyer shouted, I love David Harris, when he smashed it.
I think he did. I think he said, in fact, I think I seen him running. He looked at the camera, he pointed, he goes, this is for you, Dave. Watch. And then put one in top bins. I mean, brilliant. Good ball.
Oh, that's such a good clearance by Budweis.
Like Superman.
How's he managed to clear that off the head of Richarlison?
That was unbelievable. That was a good cross by Sessegnon, actually.
Very good cross.
Ball. But yeah, Benji, look, And he's, oh, by the way, Benji, quick update. It's not Moon Boots. His new nickname is Rocket Boots. Oh, that was a good clearance. That was a very tasty clearance, actually.
We also have Jerome in the house, the football terrorist legend, saying, I don't get why Reguilón was left behind because he is better than Sessegnon. I think it's just because Reguilón isn't seen in Conte's plans, Jerome. And I kind of agree with you. I was a bit more of a fan of Reggie than I really am of Sess. I want to have full confidence in Sess, but, I think Reguilón was probably a bit, kind of, I don't know, harshly judged, in his ability going forward. I kind of recognize, though, that Conte doesn't seem to like him, or maybe doesn't seem to have confidence in him for what he wants him to bring to the team. Perhaps Reguilón doesn't like the training, that he would have to undergo. I've heard rumors of that he might be a bit more scared of the Marine than, the other guys, in the squad. So it could just be, it just doesn't fit anymore. It just doesn't work, but I'm with you, Jerome. I actually really like, I do really like Reguilón, and I am a bit sad to see him go. And I do, at some stages, I have even been kind of saying in watch-alongs last season that, I think Reguilón is actually a bit harshly judged in comparison to Sessegnon.
I think what way we need to look at it. Look, first of all, I agree. I actually prefer Reguilón over Sessegnon, but the whole idea is to have one good defensive player and one good player going forward in them positions, and you play them depending on the game and your need. And look, when it comes to what we're doing at left wing back, look, I do think Reguilón is better than Sessegnon going forward, but Sessegnon is better defensively. And I think that's why he's kept, because we've upgraded in that position going forward with Perisic. And I think that's why Reguilón is probably deemed surplus to requirements. Look, Reguilón gets into a lot better positions than what Sessegnon does. I mean, we all know the chances that Reguilón has missed, but at least he's in them positions. When you see Sessegnon in them positions, but the kid is better defensively, and Conte can work with him going forward because he used to be a left winger. So there is something in there out of him going forward. But I think the reason why it's been him,
oh, great ball, Gil
rather than Sessegnon, just a great ball. 1 second. Emerson thinks it is.
Boise. Richarlison!
Oh! Couldn't get enough on it into the keeper's hands. Unlucky, but look, he was in a good position. But I do think that's why Reguilón has been left at home, because we got Perisic, because he's better going forward.
That's a good point, Dave, actually. And
don't give him a penalty.
Oh.
Korea 11 puts inside.
Oh my God.
Us.
That was unbelievable. Chang Hoon, what a run.
He actually lost Sessegnon, I think, there.
That should not be happening.
It was hard to tell. It was Sanchez and Sessegnon. Sanchez and Sessegnon getting mixed, and then Moonlights as well.
Oh my God. Our defense.
It's like Trossard there.
That's why we need to upgrade.
Ooh.
Just lets him go by.
Oh, he scuffs his shot.
That was actually beautiful.
Fuck me. Make an attempt. I get you're tired. I get you done 42 lengths the other day, but make an attempt to go after him. Come on, let's go. Let's bring one last attack.
Boots dropping into midfield again with a ping.
Let's get Richarlison a goal before he comes off.
Charlie Eccleshare has put up some competition for your nickname. He's just tweeted, he's instead of Beckenbauer, he's calling him Beckendyer, which I think is incredible. It's not quite rocket boots, but it's good.
It's not. It's what I mean. It's the consistency of the ball in. A minute ago, he plays a great ball in, and then that one he dribbles into the keeper's hands. Fucking hell, kid. Jesus Christ, my granny would have took better on her left foot, and she's right-footed.
So he's saying so close for Richie there. He's looked good, though. I mean, what are your thoughts on Richarlison so far, Matt? Is he impressing you? Is he, doing the right things? We asked you this earlier, he either is going to get a hat trick, in 20 minutes, or, he'll just show, that he can, maybe, have to, I don't know, like, what are your impressions so far of him, in this half? It's been an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, he's been getting involved. Oh, it's a good ball in. Choko's thrown what a header.
Sanchez, you absolute muppet. Honestly, the new concrete boots. Get off the bloody ground. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. That is unbelievable. That is shocking. You know what? That's absolutely shocking. Now they're dancing. Oh, my God.
That's a fantastic header, but the fact that he has that much space in the box, see the salute. He's one of the army players. The fact that he's that much space in the box is absolutely atrocious. Great ball in. I think it was Palacevic with that. Great header, but from a Tottenham perspective.
He's a Premier League player. He's played in Europa League final, for God's sake. He can't even get off the ground. Oh, my God.
Sanchez has gone up with his foot.
What is he doing? He's so...
Jumping off the...
God love him.
What? Oh, my.
He's so brain dead. His mother must have dropped him when he was a child. Fuck me.
Oh, that's shocking for us to concede. And as well, right before half time,
How's he going with his feet? What does he think he is? Jackie Chan?
That's poor.
He can't get his feet up that high. Fuck. That annoys me. I'm sorry, but it annoys me when I see these players making the same mistakes.
Do you feel like I've really enjoyed this, striker's performance though so far? He's actually looked quite good, and he's, had a good first half from what I saw, and like you said, Matt, he's actually plays for that army team, and for the Korean national team, and he's built like an absolute unit, that guy, and he had a good finish there. He's had good, kind of moments of hold up play. He even megged, I think, Sanchez pretty bad actually a while ago in that game too. Is that, poor defending for the most part, or is that also maybe a decent header, like Ribsy is saying here? Is it a combination of the two?
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of two. I mean, it's a really good ball in by Palacevic, and I think the goal scorer there, he's found the space in the box very well, but they had him, they two strikers in there. We've got three centre backs. We got three centre backs. They shouldn't have that much space. So it should be easy for one to pick up the other. And the worst part about that is the whole thing happens in front of Sanchez. That ball comes in from right out on that left flank. It's deep as well. That ball has traveled 30, 40, 50 yards. Sanchez can see that. And really all he has to do, I mean, you're not expecting him to win that header when he's got the man in between him and the ball. All he's got to do is go in and put him off. But he's held back a little bit. And like Dave said, he went up with the foot. I don't know if he's trying to block the header with his foot. That's not going to benefit anybody. If he just goes up and jumps with the attacker, puts him off a little bit, there's no way he gets as clean a connection. Now look, he might still score. It might be a worse header that Brandon Austin can collect, but to not even put in a challenge in that areal is really poor. And
yeah, it doesn't make yourself look good there. It does not make yourself look good there if you're not putting in. Yeah. And like Dave, like you said, a Jackie Chan challenge, let alone, an actual header challenge.
Honestly, what's he going for? A round kick? Is he playing kickboxing or is he doing football? Jesus Christ. I mean, do you know what it is, Jack? I can pull many of them clips where balls have come into the box. Eric Dyer is in no man's land, and Sanchez again. We've seen that many times last season, Jack. Many, many times we can pull the same clips with Dyer and Davies doing it. It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, go meet it with your head. It's the basics. I mean, if
some people are saying Dyer, also plays a role there, because I was going to ask you this next. This is sort of kind of a very common, sort of outcome is where we do see a ball put in between Dyer and Sanchez, and kind of both of them look pretty silly at the end of it. So it is a bit of a combination of the two players.
All preseason, I've been saying our weakness is balls into the box, set pieces, balls into the box for us to go on header. We won't do it. Why isn't Dyer going and meeting that ball? Why isn't Sanchez going?
A lot of people saying it was Dyer in the chat, Dave. A lot of people are saying it was Dyer's.
It's both. It's both. You cannot excuse Sanchez going up with his feet. He's the one marking the player. He's the one that can see it. Go meet it with your head. Yeah, Dyer is in no man's land. It's two of them. And people talk about Dyer as a leader or he's multilingual. Brilliant. We'll send him to a job where, at the embassy, where you have many different nationalities ringing in. Brilliant. Works perfectly there. Put him on 40 grand a year. No problem. Bilingual. I mean, come on. If he's a leader goes and meets that ball and gets rid of it. And this is why we continuously have problems with balls into the box in the air, set pieces, corner kicks. We cannot deal with them. It's not good enough. And I get it's only preseason, but I get pissed off when I can pull out 10 clips of that happening last season as well, if not more.
And Zuki Spurs saying, nice of us to give them a free header. And then it really did feel that way. And if you ask me, we've had trouble before with, having players that are dominant in the air. Probably Sanchez or Ben Davies might actually be our best sort of headers of the ball. And that is not a good sign if you're really putting it in that sort of way. Sanchez is maybe the most dominant in the air, but he's still clumsy. He still doesn't get things right. Dyer, I would say, might be our worst player in the air, if you ask me. So, Dave, sometimes when you think about that extra center back we need to get, might need to be someone that's a confident player in the air, someone that will be able to clear his lines, someone that will be able to take the initiative.
Well, this is what I said. We need to sign a centre back as well as a left-sided centre back. I've been saying it all season. Look, if it's not going to be Dyer, it's going to be Sanchez. That's the way the centre backs will be operating right now. If it's not Dyer, Sanchez will fill in. And neither can go and attack the ball. We have to upgrade in that position. And this is what I keep saying about sentiment. Great. Let's have the sentiment for the players all you want. But at the end of the day, that sentiment will hold this club back. We're accepting mediocrity. I can't keep watching this at the back line. I can't keep watching it. Go and get me a centre back that wants to head the ball. someone that wants to be an animal, someone that doesn't mind getting his head hurt if he goes and headers the ball, but he wants to keep that clean sheet at all costs. But I'm not being funny. You could see the goal coming. What happened to 30 seconds before that? Sessegnon muscled out. Sanchez didn't even bother attempting. And then he skins Dyer, and Dyer doesn't even bother trying to make a challenge. You could see it coming. They were getting too comfortable. This can't keep continuing. This is something I hope that gets rectified this preseason, because if they're not going to sign another centre-back, I'm not looking forward to seeing Sanchez and Dyer. They nearly cost us last season, only that Kane, Son, mainly Son, got the goals that helped us get the top 4. But you can only outscore teams for so long. You have to have that ability of keeping clean sheets. And with some of them defenders there, teams know they can get us. If the Korean 11 think they can get us, well, what do you think Premier League teams are going to think?
Adrian Chio with a super chat, Matt saying the mascots would have dealt with the cross better. I believe, you would have saved Moon Boots' shot, maybe give it analysis here. Would the mascots maybe have, been able to close down the man?
Yeah. 100%.
They actually have quite large heads on them as well, so they wouldn't even go for the karate kick. They would just, throw their whole head at it and be able to clear it, to be fair to them.
No, it is a very strange one from a Sanchez point of view. I mean, again, just looking at it there, I don't see why, even if he just gets goal side and just jumps, there's a chance that the ball hits him. The way he's gone about it, unless the attacker misses the ball, Sanchez isn't going to interfere with that in any way at all. And again, it travels from so far away. He has so much time to see that situation. And look, if he was aware of his surroundings, he would know whether there was danger behind him. He would have known there wasn't really much danger behind him. Then get goal side of the man that's in front of you and clearly the favourite to win that ball in the air. And again, nobody's expecting him to go up and win that header because very, very strong, tall, physical attacker. He's probably going to win that ball. Again, he's in between Sanchez and the ball, so he does have the better option or the better opportunity there. But Sanchez does nothing. He does absolutely nothing to prevent that goal from happening. And that's... a bit strange. Strange.
It is a bit strange. Jerome here with the super chat saying, we tend to forget that the combination of Sanchez and Dyer used to cost us games. This shows how Romero is important for us. Yeah, Romero, Jerome, has actually brought out the best of these players and sort of makes them look a lot better, I think, in certain cases than they really are. And then as well, you're kind of right. That sort of image of saying Moon Boots not knowing what's going on behind him and Sanchez just making it an absolute, I don't know, just whatever he's doing there. It's actually quite a common sight and quite a common picture that we've seen before, actually, Dave. I think Callum Wilson was a good one that I remember from Newcastle and a few others, where the ball just gets put in between Dyer and Sanchez and it's only chaos from there.
Look, we've seen it time and time again, whether it's been cup games that we should never be losing or whether it's been Premier League games when the two of them had us in. And this is what I'm talking about.
Are we forgetting it, though, Dave? Maybe because that's what, Jerome is saying. Right. Yeah.
Sanchez and Dyer formed a back line where we were leaking goals this season. But nobody talks about that. They want to remember the last 3 games and the first 3 games because it gives them happy memories. But this is where I keep saying, I look at the game where Sanchez and Dyer had a running team together. We were atrocious at the back. We couldn't even play out, let alone defend. We were absolutely atrocious, and I don't forget that. The thing is, Jack, look, most people are probably better human being than me because they can forgive and forget. I can't. Once someone does something that wrongs me, and I keep seeing it and doing it, and I feel like they do wrong me because I'm a big, passionate Spurs fan, I can't forgive it, and that's why I don't forget these mistakes. That's why I don't forget. When I look at Dyer, it's so Sanchez, it's all well and good saying, oh, well, he might come in. He might only play a couple of games. Or, but that's what if Dyer or Romero gets injured? He's in there for 10, 11 games. Yeah. And that's where the problems come in. And Dyer and Sanchez, look, both of them are clueless, let alone playing them together. It can't happen. It's going to cost you.
Oh, I'm looking at Ledley King speaking right now, Dave. I wish he was there maybe to, help out Dyer and Sanchez there. He would have helped us out a lot for sure. You probably could have suited him up. You would have been able to do it with no knees or anything. You would have been able to do it. Dark Sun G saying, this is why I want Kim Min Jae. Also, Cho Kyu Sung. Sorry for my pronunciation there, but Cho Kyu Sung is our rising striker, the national team, fighting with Hwang Wee Jo, who is playing in France. I've actually heard of Hwang before. And then also, that striker, I really liked him, honestly. Dark Sun G, because he's made Sanchez look a bit silly, so far. He's megged him, I think, on a few occasions. He's had nice hold-up play. Rose really well for that header, had a nice finish, kind of a bit velocity behind it as well. So maybe he could give some competition in the World Cup, team for sure. But Kim Min Jae, nicknamed the Monster, and someone that has, a very aerial presence to him. I know, Dave, like, you're not so sure on him, and, maybe we could go for someone a bit more established. You want someone to get a bit more established, but Kim Min-jae, I think, probably is always seen as like an aerial presence and an absolute unit. So he probably would have helped us out maybe a bit there.
Look, I'm at the point now. Get him in. I mean, he can't do any worse. I mean, honestly, right? We spent 42 million on Sanchez. The guy's only ever been backup here. I mean, Kim Min-jae would probably cost half that, and he'd probably do a bit more. Look, Matty's probably more of an expert on Kim Min-jae. He's kind of been talking about this guy ever since I started YouTube. So, Matty, do you think he's better than Sanchez and Dyer in terms of going and attacking that ball, or does he make as many mistakes as them? Because for me, I want a name because this problem has to be fixed. I can't keep going with this.
In the air, he's definitely better than the two of them. It's just every other aspect. I wouldn't think he comes close because, especially if we're talking obviously Tottenham in the Premier League, Kim Min-jae doesn't have experience in that. He stood out as an absolutely incredible player in the Chinese Super League a few years ago, and he's playing with Beijing Guan. He is, as you say, Jack, nicknamed the Monster. He's an aerial powerhouse. I just wonder, will that transfer to the Premier League? I mean, in the Chinese Super League when he was there, I mean, look, you had players like Marwan Fellaini, players like Hulk who were a bit more physical, but for the most part, you don't really have the Chris Wood style of player or the Erling Haaland style of player where it's going to be a real aerial threat against you. And I'd say with Fenerbahce, I'm sure there's probably a few more over there, but again, not to the same standard, not to the same sort of style as the Premier League. So he is very good in the air. Whether that will transfer to the Premier League is a different question, but defending on the ground, it maybe sound a bit weird to say, but I assume Sanchez and Dyer will be ahead of him. That ball playing ability, everything other than the aerial threat, I would have Sanchez and Dyer ahead of him. And he was linked to us so long ago. We've apparently been interested for so long. If the interest was that genuine, would we have let him move to Fenerbahce? And would we be looking at so many other centre back targets right now? I'm not so sure. So I don't think he's as high up on Tottenham's priority list as it may seem.
I kind of agree with you, Matt. I feel like, if maybe we got Kim Min-jae and then a more maybe established or maybe proven, sort of center back on top of that, I would be plenty satisfied. But I maybe have to, piggyback off of Dave's answer there, where he's just saying at this stage, we kind of just need to get someone that we know can actually compete for this team, because Sanchez at the end of the day is only good enough to really be an okay backup. We just know that he's not capable of really being able to start week in, week out for this team. And considering that we brought him in for about 40 million pounds or whatever it was at the time, or 36, 37 million pounds, I don't know if that's it's just too expensive of a backup, especially someone who's been around in the Premier League for some time and has had lots of opportunities to break into this team. But Dark Sun G, Kim Min-jae, the Monster, he definitely win us some headers, from some of these set pieces as well. Also be able to, probably defend some of our set pieces, because we aren't even that strong in the set piece kind of a region as well, at least when it comes to defending them. Just quickly, Dave, Tequila 316 saying, Jack, mugging Sanchez isn't a big deal anymore. The farmers from Mura did it twice.
I was just going to get onto that. I mean, look, we've seen players that should never be doing it to 42 million pound players, skinning them, making them look like a donkey. And look, for me, Jack, as well, we look at wanting to close the gap on Liverpool and City, and we think it's about scoring the goals against the likes of the Brightfords and the Brightons and the Brentfords. Yeah, it is about scoring goals, but also look at the mistakes we made, especially against Brighton. Dyer turning his back on the ball. I mean, that defence is also crucial to closing the gap on the top four, just as it is bringing in Richarlison to go in for Harry Kane if he gets injured, just as it is for bringing Basuma in here, Perisic, bringing in a centre-back that actually relishes defending. I'm not talking about that. If you ask him, he'll defend. That wants to defend. That defending is his life. It's that much. He loves defending that much. He'll do guard for his missus in the nightclub when she goes on a night out. You know what I mean? He's ready to 2-foot people, shadowing her and everything else. That's what I want in here. I want someone that absolutely loves it. And if we want to close the gap on Liverpool and City, we have to look at this position as well. But what I will say, the fact that it's happened first game of pre-season, I look at it as a cloud with a silver lining. I look at it as I'm angry, but I look at it as a positive, because maybe that might say to Conte or Paratici or Levy now, where it's like, look, we have to. It's important we go and get that centre back. So the fact that it's happened already, hopefully now, when we know there's a lot of money left in the kitty, I think we spent about 40 million net spent. So there's plenty of money in the kitty. So hopefully now that it's happened, they might reassess that and go and get one in. Because for me, I think the difference between actually challenging and going on to win the league and challenging and drifting off is Eric Dyer and Sanchez, because we will end up fading away with them mistakes. You go back across the season and pick out 7-8 mistakes where you'll make up points that would have cost you where you could have won the league. So for me, it's important we get in these centre backs. We want to close the gap on Liverpool and City like we're all talking about. It comes from a number of things, not just one. And that centre back is definitely one.
Definitely, Dave. Definitely. And Loves Music is saying Dyer by name, Dyer by nature. A lot of people in the chat have been kind of saying that guys, like Sanchez, it's kind of what you expect. People are saying, the farmers from Mura did it twice, like Tequila was saying. Plenty of people are saying Dyer takes huge responsibility, for that conceded goal. And it is kind of, a common sight where Sanchez is the one maybe trying to close down the man, try to get in front, goal side or ball side. Just doesn't do it successfully. But, the common sight is always seeing, Moon Boots really have no idea what's going on behind him, in certain cases. So Loves Music, I kind of agree with you there. And a lot of the chat, I think, agrees with you as well, because the moment that we were kind of maybe pointing out Sanchez, a lot of people in the chat were kind of saying, like, guys, Eric Dyer still takes a lot of responsibility for this, which I think is interesting.
It's both of them. And there's a lot of changes there. Big H's on the pitch for the second half. Let's see who else is out there. Moon Boots retains his place, so he's getting longer than 45. Emerson Royale retains his place as well by the looks of it. Same as Seshyang. Højbjerg is on the pitch, though, which is good to see. Let me see who else I can make out.
I think I saw Tanganga coming on as well instead of Romero. Right centre back there.
Yes, possibly.
Is that Sarr coming on as well, number 29?
We'll have a closer look. So Lucas Moura retains his place. Is Gil Messi out there? No, I think that's changed, is it?
Lucas Kane and Richarlison. So Kane has come on for Gil Messi. Sarr and Højbjerg are on for Bentancur and Skip. And I think Tanganga is on for Romero.
Still no Sonny. Interesting.
No Sonny.
Possibly a change at left back as well.
Interesting call. I wonder why there's no Sonny, guys. I mean, look, we'll let you discuss on that. I'm just running.
Papa Matasara in as well. We get to see that. That'll be fun. Get to see Papa Matasara. He's already getting stuck in right away, which is nice to see. And I did, honestly, from a few clips I saw from him in preseason, he actually had a few nice flick-ons. Is doing pretty well in, kind of the roundabouts, Dave. And I don't know. Papa Matasara might be one of those guys to prove Conte wrong or, make a really good impression.
The kind of like close quarters passing drill they were doing, he had a couple of flicks in that were absolutely incredible, and you kind of see a few of the players around him were impressed with it as well. Difficult season last year at Metz, but I think it's a good opportunity getting stuck in with the first team and getting to play again, even though it is pre-season, just getting to play with the likes of Højbjerg, with Bentancur, with Skip, hopefully with Basuma in the games that are yet to come, and maybe make a name for himself. See Sonny's getting ready to come on there as well. Oh, Joe, they've left it till the first break of play in the second half, so he can get the ovation from the stands. That's going to be a nice moment.
That's smart, actually. To be
Kane's
fair,
won that
that's
back
smart,
there.
actually. To be fair, Harry Kane with the ball in.
Oh, it's an own goal!
No!
Come on,
own goal! And Harry Kane with instant impact. He
Who's
plays
that?
the ball in, a dangerous ball, and it goes in for an own goal. A mistake by the center back. I couldn't tell. Maybe it wasn't a center back. He's wearing the number 7. But Harry Kane onside there by the looks of it. Ball across, and just it's a little choppy for me, but I think he just tapped it in with the bottom of his heel by the looks of it, Matty. The center back. I mean, is it a really good ball by Harry Kane there, or is it pretty poor defending?
It's a good ball in from Kane. It's putting into that channel of uncertainty between the defender and the goalkeeper. It's a very difficult one for him to deal with, and I think
Emerson Royale always the first one to congratulate Kane. Dave, you always know that. Emerson Royale always seems to be the first one to congratulate Kane. Loves to, be there for it. And Sonny has come on for Emerson.
Yeah, it was
interesting. Maybe switch to a 4 in the back.
Yeah, it could be. Conte did say he wants to work on a few things tactically that they've been working on. Maybe that could be one. Great to see Tottenham let him come on to a standing ovation. But what a ball by Harry Kane. I mean, it's quality. It's quality. It's what we're used to. I mean, that's what we want from our
Lucas Moura, right wing back, potentially?
Yeah, it looks like
that could be interesting. Wow, Lucas Moura, right wing back, everybody. Let's just take a look at this. This is nice.
Yeah, and let's see what he can do.
I've just had a look at who that own goal scorer is, and according to the K-League website, he's a centre back and centre forward for Daegu. So he plays centre back and up top.
forward.
So he has the opposite of the Sanchez problem, probably not meant to be a center back, or, meant to be a striker that, I don't know. It's just the opposite situation with Sanchez, seriously. And Moon Boots. Højbjerg, good to see Højbjerg's first touches.
Go on,
Also
Pierre.
playing with Sarr.
Trying to figure out what the hell K-League are doing in the second half.
Oh, Lucas Moura. Well held up, Harry. Oh, look at this.
Oh, Richarlison, love that. Love that.
Even. That's a free. Oh, how's he not giving that? It's another ball in behind. Sanchez way off him. Just lets him turn. Just lets him turn and open up the pitch. Why not? Why not?
This Gerso is a brilliant footballer. The number 12 that's come on the left.
Sanchez annoys me so badly. So badly. He just lets him turn and opens up the pitch. It's a poor effort by Gerson or Gerso. Portuguese, isn't he, Matty?
I think so, yeah.
It's a poor effort.
I think they're sticking in a 4-4-2.
Lucas Moura playing right wing back this half. Be interested to see how he gets on. It's another ball into Richarlison, with Richarlison coming over this side and linking up with Moura. It'll be very interesting. Oh, well done, Papa. Lucas gives away the ball. So the subs are Matt Doherty on for Romero. No, it said Matt Doherty. I don't see Matt Doherty out there, do you?
Yeah, Doherty playing left back.
Oh, okay. Doherty's on the left back. Papa Marçal on for Ryan Sessegnon. So the team is Harry Kane, Richarlison, Son, Højbjerg and Papa Marçal. Lucas Moura, right wing back, along with Dyer, Tanganga, Sanchez, and Doherty at left wing back. Any change in goalkeeper, Matt? No?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I wanted to see Keeley come on.
Lloris was warming up towards the end of the first half, but it is Lloris
now.
It is Lloris.
It is Lloris.
Yes, David, there's a change in goal.
Oh, Lucas and Tanganga getting a bit burned there. Papa Matasar plays it to Højbjerg. Moon Boots taking his time. Tanganga goes for dink ball into Richarlison. Richarlison.
Oh, well done.
Good hold that play.
Done.
Go. Drive, my son. Oh, sir.
Well done, referee. He gave it because someone was near him. That's why. Oh. Go on
the left.
Yeah. Oh, Sonny, unlucky. Tried to do 1-2 with Doherty. Let's get the pressing going.
I think also Papa Matasar has taken Skip's old number.
Where is that?
Yeah, it's 29. Yeah.
Where the fuck is Sanchez? Why is he so far behind? They're queuing up on the edge of the box for this one. Which one's going to wind up? It's gone out wide. Can Lucas Moura get out? It's a ball wrapped in behind.
Oh, that's a good ball. That's leaky, Jay. It's a great ball in.
Deal with it this time. Thank you.
He hits it in with Venom. That left back for them. He hits it in with Venom.
Yeah, he's got a good foot on him, doesn't he? He wraps it.
That was a different player, I believe. But that was a very good delivery.
I figured out most of this team. Actually, Joe, who's come on right centre forward, Jumin Q. He's the guy who plays with Jeju.
Mm.
He's a good
Troy
player.
Parrott getting some instructions on the sidelines. Ball in.
I can't wait to see Parrott. I think Parrott will rip it up when he comes on.
Amir Sardar saying the front three for us looks scary. I mean, I kind of like that. We're also, ball in again, top of the box.
It's a goal. It's a simple goal to concede. The amount of space he has on the edge of the box.
Oh my God.
I think we've actually looked poor defensively since we've taken the wing backs. Since we've taken the wing backs off, we've looked poor defensively.
We couldn't even get out our own half, sure. Just at the last 5 minutes in our own half. Couldn't even get out the half.
That's a really poor goal to concede.
How? Let me see this again.
Just easy, though. They had so many players sitting at the top of that 18.
Don't tell me. Dyer, just walking out. I mean, go on. Have your Sunday stroll, Dyer. Have a Sunday stroll. Look at him. Look at him. Walking out.
And,
look. And he turns his back.
He didn't even hit it that hard. He didn't even hit it that hard as well. I feel like Sanchez could even stuck a better boot out for that.
He doesn't even have any desire to get out to him. He's walking out there. He shoots. And he still turns his back. Fucking hell, Dyer. Jesus Christ. That is atrocious. What's the point in going in and putting in a 32-yarder and then doing 2 bits of shit defending? And Lucas Moore take him off as well. That's the 3rd time he's given that away in 7 bloody minutes. Fuck. Shocking defending. I can't take it any longer. How much do I, like, what did I do in a previous life to have to sit there and watch this defending?
He's also, I'm not really liking actually Lucas at right wing back so far as well, I'll be honest, because I even noticed there he doesn't know what he's doing, Dave, when he's inside his own box in a defensive sense. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Hit it, Kane. Kane hits it. Oh, what a goal. What a strike.
Harry
Kane. Harry.
He is back.
Big H.
Firing. Come on.
That's a brilliant strike on the left foot. We're getting treated to some left foot rockets in this game.
Right now, lads. A bit of basketball is happening back and forth here.
Just Jack, I don't think you're even getting to watch this match. So you have to keep up to date with the scoreboard. It's crazy.
Flipping back and forth between all these tabs, Dave. I mean, it's honestly a basketball score right now. We're going a bit crazy. There's just no defending at all. Just no defending whatsoever.
What a strike by Harry Kane. Left-footed, bottom corner, winding up for all day long. That's beautiful. I mean, look, I know the guy didn't start off the last season the best, but I reckon look at that. I mean, I said Son winning the Golden Boot would hurt him. And look, I think Son is in for another shout of it this season myself. But, you know, Harry Kane will reach a new level this season, I'm convinced.
That was side netting as well. Side netting.
Big H, baby. You never fail to impress me. You never do. You never do.
Tottenham Gold with a super sticker, and it's just, it's the animal, Dave, it's the cat, and it's just admiring, Harry Kane's, beautiful strike there, with a bit of rosy red cheeks, just admiring the strike. In fact, that kind of actually looked like David, actually, to be fair, that super sticker, as, Harry Kane knocked that in. Nice to see, him hit the side netting left foot from distance, Dave. There's probably nothing you would rather see. It's just the right type of finish to start off the season for Harry. And I think Dermatron feels the same way. He's just in awe. He's just in awe.
It's just beautiful. I mean, what better way do you want to start the season than Harry Kane just winding up from about 30 yards out, Jack, and so supposedly weaker foot, just putting it in bottom corner. I mean, look, Jack, he's like a can of Coke to me. It's reliable. It gives you loads of energy. You know what I mean? And it's just good. Well, not good for you, but it's good for me. And that's what Harry Kane is. He's reliable, gives you energy, and he's good for me. I mean,
maybe that's why people really, they love him and hate him, the rival fans, Dave, because they just know he's the best there is, like a Coke. But, at the same time, they want to try to find ways, to, put him down, to try different types of soda and whatnot. But at the end of the day, Dave, they know which one's the best, and it's Harry Kane.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, great strike. Harry Kane is back, and I'm excited for him this season because he's got the Tottenham record, the England record. He'll be looking to go for another Golden Boot at the World Cup. And he needs to be fit and firing to do that. So I reckon you're going to see an even better Harry Kane this season than what we seen when he got fit last season. But
Lazy 8 to you, Dave, is also saying, not sure what you mean by he's back, David. He didn't go anywhere.
Well, look, he didn't go anywhere. People tried to send him somewhere. They wanted to sell him because he didn't have enough pace, Nick. But look, at the end of the day, when you know, Nick. I mean,
do it again.
He didn't go anywhere. I know he didn't go anywhere. I knew he'd be back. And yeah, thank God, Nick. I mean, absolutely, it's great to see Nick. It's just great to see. I mean, you can't tell me you aren't jumping for joy, Nick. I mean, as well, hopefully you're wearing that number 10 Harry Kane jersey, or you're getting framed on that.
He was caught seeing it. He was caught wearing it around at 6 a.m. this morning. Dave, in Brooklyn. And he was wearing he was wearing the Galaxy one as well. He's practically blinding people this morning. With that Galaxy shirt.
He slept in it. He slept in it. He was dying for Harry Kane to score. And look, he just delivers, Jack. It's like the postman, delivers every day.
Sorry, Matt, I cut across here. Yeah.
I was going to say, there's something I noticed there in that first half with how narrow the front three were playing. So obviously, Richarlison playing down the middle.
Yeah.
You had Brian Hill and Lucas Moore playing really, really narrow, both in and out of possession, especially out of possession with that press. We're kind of flooding those central areas and forcing the ball out wide. I thought that might change a little bit when Kane came on. And look, at the moment, it's Kane, Son, or Richarlison. I think it's the front three that we all wanted to see for a little bit today. But it's still very much the same, a very, very narrow front three. You can see it there now. I mean, look, Richarlison is effectively playing on the right. He's almost on Harry Kane's back. They're extremely narrow. It's a tactic that served us well quite a bit. I know last season against Manchester City, especially, forcing that ball out to the wing backs and kind of trusting that when that ball came into the middle, we had the power to deal with it. It's happening here again. Here's Leaky J.
It's not Sanchez that missed another tackle.
He missed that initial tackle. Started with Sanchez again.
Flicked by Dyer.
Did anybody see that bit of skill from Højbjerg, though? And again,
Oh, again.
Højbjerg, calm down, Højbjerg. Calm
Lloris.
down.
Oh, Lloris.
Calm down, Pierre.
Where's
Calm
Galini when you
down.
need him?
Oh, Pierre, these people have families, man.
Sonny.
Sir.
That'll do.
Okay, that was interesting.
Go on, Lloris. Go on. Is Richard?
Take it down, Richie.
Oh,
yes.
What a touch!
That is
By the
world-class.
sideline. You can't even
red.
out.
What?
What? Oh my god!
That's grievous bodily harm.
What control by Richarlison, by the way. That's pinged up to him. That is absolutely pinged up to him, and he's on by the byline and just chests it down, cushions it down, and then just holds 2 men off.
He hit the ball
honestly,
there,
Romero's probably sitting there, ready to 2-foot somebody. He's getting jealous.
I mean, Dave, the way that just absolutely cushioned off that chest of his was just gorgeous. Especially that was a hard hit pass by Lloris, and he just took it down like that, like an absolute, honestly, unit, like an absolute unit.
I wish I'd stop making subs. I can't keep up with this.
Russ Vernon saying, great channel. Keep up the great work. Appreciate that, Russ. Appreciate the support as well, my man Dave, with a nice super chat from Russ. Very, very generous. And Russ, hopefully you're enjoying the watch along. A lot of people are enjoying this watch along. They're loving the answers from Maddie. They're loving, a bit of the rants from time to time, from Dave, especially when it comes to this defending, which has been atrocious, I must be honest. But people are still enjoying the watch along experience, Dave, and they're happy to see Spurs back as well as seeing the watch alongs back.
Yeah, no, it's great to see everybody back. And look, some people may not get my rants, but you will get it when it comes to the Premier League and Sanchez is costing us 3 points. But look, it's just great to be back with everybody, rejoicing, having a laugh, having a giggle, and enjoying Tottenham together. I mean, this is what it's all about, and this is what I miss. This is why I get upset when the season ends and I get emotional, because I just want to sit here 24/7 with people and enjoy football. So big up everybody in the chat. But I do ask you for one favor. I don't really ask for too many, but I will ask you for one. Is look, it's on 66, and look, add another 6 to that. That's the devil's number. I don't want that. So if we could get it to 67, that would be unbelievable. I just don't like the look of it at 66, and that's their subscriber count. So if we could just find one, even if you make one up for your goldfish, it'd be brilliant.
Big up Russ Vernon, my man. Really appreciate the support. Very generous as well, Russ.
Love Russ.
Adrian Yeah, Leeds fan, right. Adrian Chia saying, bring on the mascots. Our defenders are not cutting it. Ugh, I mean, they would have probably been able to close down their man. I think they probably missed fewer challenges. One of those mascots even looks like he probably, slip a little bit less than Sanchez would on the grass, actually, to be fair, Dave. So,
there from Velvic.
Boots
again.
again.
Behind Jubin Q. Oh, he's put it wide.
Lord. This is just, which one is worse now at this stage between Moon Boots and Sanchez? I'm starting to lose track at this. They're missing challenge after challenge. They're getting shown the weight room, Dave. Bring on the mascots. That's what Adrian's saying. Bring on the mascots.
Yeah, I can play centre back. Yeah, my boots are clean. Yeah, get the kit ready. I'm on my way over. Yeah, that's Paratici, Jack. He just said, look, he can't take it any longer either. I mean, so he just asked me, will I be ready? So I'm going to have to leave early. I have to go. I'm on my way to Korea. No, look, it's just not good enough, Jack. It's what I've been harping on about all pre-season, all last season. Yes, Dyer had a good season. Sanchez had some good games. Davies, he's not playing today. I don't really want to talk about him, but he had a good season. But are they good enough to close the gap on a consistent basis over 38 games to Liverpool or Man City? No. And that's what I've been saying. We need to improve. And we need to, because our defending is atrocious. And I know it's only pre-season, but for guys that want to be staking a claim in the team, it's not good enough. Someone like Sanchez should not be making these mistakes pre-season, because he's the one chasing down the starting spot. So he should be on it from minute one. There's no excuse for him. He should be on it from minute one. If I was in back up and I wanted to chase down the pre-season spot, I'd be in training all summer long, and I'd make sure I'm sharp and ready to go from minute one of pre-season, so that I'm on the ball, ready to go, doing everything the correct way, so that I'm putting my name in the ring to start the games. The way he's played here today, he's not doing that. And in fact, Dyer's not even, the Dyer's been piss poor as well, apart from his goals. So,
is it potentially because we know Sanchez, though? Like, it's no excuse, but we know Sanchez is shocking as a left-sided center back. He, as we knew, the Mura, winger was able to cut inside on him with the same move and be able to curl it past him. So I guess maybe we knew that Sanchez might be poor on the left-hand side, or as a left-sided center back. Not that saying that, like, Conte, it's just a preseason game. Like, he knows this as well. But, it's just further proof that Sanchez cannot play on the left side as a left-side center back.
It shouldn't, that for sure. But it shouldn't just be a preseason game for Sanchez, though, Jack. He's chasing down a starting 11. If he's not ready to go for preseason and here to make a point, then he's already accepting and he's happy to be back up. That's not good enough. Because by accepting that means mistakes will happen like we've seen today. Someone like him should be here, ready to go from minute 1 and make no mistakes. He should be laying down. Hey, Conte, look at me. Put me in your starting 11. I should be in it. And this is why. He hasn't done it. He's accepted being mediocrity, and he definitely can't play out on the left. Neither can Dyer. And look, I don't want to see it again. Look, I can't wait for Clement Langley. Get me in. Get Clement Langley. I can't wait to see him.
Charlison's had quite a few sloppy passes in the second half.
Yeah. Some people are pointing that out
one there as well. Yeah.
We look very tired this half. Very, very tired, which is a bit strange considering it's more or less a whole new 11.
We haven't had sustained possession.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. No, Matt, please. I agree with you. A lot of people in the chat, Matt, are saying that Richie's actually been a bit sloppy, in the second half. Why do you think that is? Is it maybe the training from yesterday? Is it he is tired? Is it playing on the right wing? What do you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's an element of tiredness to it, and I wouldn't exactly hold it against him. Those very, very intense training sessions, and he's also played 64 minutes of this game, again, up against a team that's probably at a higher level of match fitness and match sharpness. So, I mean, I wouldn't hold it against him. I would have been hoping for a bit more from the first half, but look, I'm not going to get worked up about it, as I know you guys aren't. It's first game of pre-season, first game with the new team. There's so much more work that needs to be done. And he looked lively. He got in the ball in good positions a few times. There was that one moment where he probably could have pulled the trigger a little bit sooner when he rounded the keeper and Emerson put it wide, and he's actually down injured now after a strong challenge. But no, we see a lot more from him in the coming games.
You have to remember, Richarlison's he only met up with the squad when they were flying out, so he hasn't had any pre-work whatsoever. So like this is literally fitness for him. Look, we all want him to be like Maradona, first game running, but he has done some very good stuff as well. Let's not forget.
Yeah. It's just maybe, in the last 15 minutes, people are, thinking he's, maybe dropped a bit of quality. Sanchez with a clearance.
He has dropped a bit of quality, but, he's absolutely.
There we go. Nice little turn.
Go on,
nice
King.
little turn. Fine, Harry.
Go on your own, Charlison.
There you go. Oh, beautiful switch.
Oh, what a ball. Cess is outside you. Oh, he's going to score himself. He has to Sonny. Oh, it's blocked.
Sonny wants that goal
Block
as well.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't pass a session as well. I'd be like, what did you do for me last season, to be fair?
Got the assist against Liverpool.
Yeah, but that's one. He's had about 2 other attempts. For me, I'd be like, look,
he did have a good instant reply to that one, Dave, to be fair. You got to give him that. He had a good instant reply there.
One moment out of how many games he played, Like, for me, it's just kind of like, look, if I was Son, I wouldn't pass one. Like, I'm on my home soil. I want to score. You didn't exactly provide me with many assists last season, so I'm not giving it to you.
People in the chat saying, Sarr's looking pretty tidy as well. I feel like he is not a bad shout for someone who might make it into the squad. I'm not kidding. I think he could actually make this squad and just be someone that is a very proliferary sort of player that's just used occasionally, but he would be a much better Jetson Fernandez is maybe a way to really think about
I would
the role that he
keep
would
him
play.
and Gil around, Jack.
Say that again?
I'd keep him and Gil Messi around, both of them.
Absolutely. So far, I thought they looked great, especially Sarr. A lot of people in the chat saying that Sarr is, looked tidy. Of course, he's only played so much.
Oh, it's a penalty. We got a penalty.
Handball?
Yeah, handball there. Is that Amano Jun just come on there?
That guy's staring at Sanchez. He's like, you giving me a penalty after what Sanchez has done so far as well. Oh my!
Oh, he's caught the ball in the box.
Christ, honestly,
what's he doing?
He's playing Gaelic football. I just think he's in the Ireland final.
He just came on 5 minutes ago as well. He came on for a guy who got the assist to the second goal, and then he comes on and does that, and then complains about it.
Look at me.
It's the wrong kind of interception.
Like,
I hope they give this to Richarlison. They won't though.
Come on, give it to Son.
No, give it to Richarlison. Oh, it will be Son. Of course, it's Son.
Yeah, at home. When we get another one, it'll go to Richarlison. Come on, Son. Can't wait to see the crowd go wild. Dark Song G, this is for you, my brother.
Son looks wrecked.
Yeah, he looks fucked.
Come on, Sonny. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, cheeky boy.
Come on, Sonny! 4-2, let's go. Sonny scores on home soil. Look at that. Absolutely loving it. Kane's like, that was close. That was close.
That was
Nice one,
class.
Sonny. Nice
That was
one,
class.
son.
And I know
Nice
it's
one,
preseason, but
Sonny.
the
Let's
nerves
have
that would have been
another
going
one.
through him. The nerves, the whole nation wants him to score. The nerves that would have been running through him taking that.
That was
Come
class.
on. Wow, close.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh,
Oh, they changed their keeper as well. Oops.
just dinks it down the middle.
I like the boots with that kit as well, actually, on Sonny. Those neon boots with that kit actually look quite nice. I must be fair. Sonny's looking good, Dave. And also, someone asked about Harry Kane's hair today. I think Sonny's, probably pulling it off a bit better, if you ask me, Dave. Especially with the neon boots. He's looking like, he's color coordinated a bit better than Harry has. So I don't know. Maybe Harry's going to have to take the L, I think, on this one, Dave.
Yeah, I think, look, Sonny does have a decent haircut there, to be fair. He's got a nice one. Look, I'm not a big fan of Harry Kane's latest hairstyle, but it's typical Kane fashion. It's tidy. It's not a hair out place.
Tidy finish. It's got a tidy finish there.
That's why he scored. When Harry Kane's hair is neat and tidy, he puts one in the bottom corner. That's what he does.
Yeah.
But
Eric.
I'm absolutely delighted for Sonny. The whole nation, wanted him to score that on home soil for the club he plays and he loves, to score in front of his people. Absolutely buzzing for him. He'll go to bed tonight one happy man.
Eric Bacher saying, why didn't we go for Koulibaly? Chelsea got him for only 32 million. It's a good point there. And, when we are looking for maybe a dominant center back, especially a physical center back in the air, Koulibaly is, one that does come to mind. And he is actually definitely a lot better on the ball than Sanchez or Moon Boots, if you ask me. Sanchez was a shot.
Sanchez, he's shown in a few of these challenges in preseason. There's just no need for it.
He's so reckless and erratic.
There's really no need for it. Get him off.
He's reckless and erratic.
I'd rather have Troy Parrott less centre back.
Koulibaly, Matt, would you be disappointed that Spurs missed out on a guy like him? Do you feel like Spurs never had a chance to get a guy like him? What are your thoughts on the Koulibaly one? Because that is a bit of a steal.
I would say to say we missed out on him is probably the wrong way to say it, because there's nothing to suggest we were ever in for him. I mean, I don't think we were ever reliably linked. And I remember it happened was it with Ross Barkley a couple of years ago when he went to Chelsea?
Yeah.
I remember a lot of Tottenham fans. Emmanuel Jones with the free kick.
Oh my lord!
He scored from about 35 yards out.
Oh my god!
After a handball.
That makes up for the penalty. But Lloris,
again.
How was Lloris not covering that?
This is a basketball game.
How was Lloris not covered that?
That's shocking.
That's really, really poor.
There. This is a ridiculous game. This is a ridiculous game.
Has that gone through the wall? Oh, there's two in the wall, Sarr and Son, and they both just step aside.
Goes right.
Oh, Sarr jumps out of the way of it as well.
Turns his back on it.
Oh, that's not good.
No, they both moved away. They both moved away. They both moved away. Yeah.
Sarr was going to block that, and he pulled out of the way.
Just don't get it. I see lads on Astro putting their bollocks on the line. I just don't get. Honestly, it kills me. It kills me. I see lads willing to put the baby maker on the line on Sunday League, and then I see professionals being played so many a week turning their back on the ball.
Yeah, that was really
3 goals in preseason. What a funky one.
Look, it was expected, but I didn't expect us to be this atrocious defensively.
But Koulibaly, like Matt said there, Eric, it's not really someone that we really were ever linked with. It's not someone that we ever really seemed interested in. It is a good steal for Chelsea, I'll admit. But at the same time, I guess we weren't really in for him for the first place. So
just to continue what I was saying, I think I remembered very, very well at Ross Barkley a couple of years ago, where Chelsea got him. I think it was in January. They got him for very, very cheap, to be fair. A lot of Tottenham fans were getting annoyed and saying, how can we let this happen? How have Tottenham not this, whatever? First of all, I think if Tottenham and Chelsea go in for Koulibaly, I think he probably chooses Chelsea anyway. So even if we were interested, even if we had made a move, I think that's out of our control. But there's no point in spending so long demanding that Levy and Enoch back the manager and then saying we should have got this player.
Oh, Sonny's in!
Sonny's in again.
Sir!
That's a free kick.
Maybe. Definitely a free kick.
Send him off.
That's a red.
Do you want to get Richarlison on this free kick?
Is it a red? A red
preseason. Richarlison with that red through ball as well. Threaded the through ball, Richarlison.
He's given a red in preseason.
He's given a red. I think he's given the red.
It's preseason, man. Jesus Christ.
Is that Kim Jin-hyuk, the guy who conceded the own goal as well? Oh, wait, no, maybe it's not.
What's
It's the right back that's just come on. Kim Dong-min. He came on like 5 minutes ago.
Absolutely.
The last two subs have given away a penalty and gotten sent off.
Oh.
Well done, Sonny. And Richarlison there.
Did he send them off?
It looked like a red card he took out.
Yeah, it was a red.
Pre-season, that's harsh. That is harsh in pre-season.
And
I
gets
think
us the win,
I don't think he gave the ref a choice.
Yeah,
I don't think he gave the ref a choice. That's a clear red card. That is a red card.
Usually on pre-season, though, they kind of let it go, you know?
But when it's blatant, Dave, like it's just last man. Like you're not allowed to just take out.
I get that, but in pre-season, they kind of usually tend to not send people off.
There's not much room for interpretation. That's what I would just say. That's my only thing.
No,
is that when there's not really like any other way to look at it. Like if that was given as a yellow, we've seen actually much easier ones given as reds. You know, in the Premier League, you know, we see one pull on the shoulder and the guy goes down. If he's last man, it's a red. You know,
I probably agree with David. I mean, in the Premier League, in the FA Cup, in the Carabao Cup, in the Community Shield, that's a red card. But in a preseason game, you know, for this guy, it could be the only chance he's ever going to get to play against, you know, his national hero and Hungman Son. And
Sonny,
I don't really see the point in sending him off.
That's a good point, actually, Matt.
Sonny stepping up for the free kick here. Let's see what he can do. Harry Kane is also over, but I think he's going to let Sonny strike it.
No, Kane's taking that. He scored a free kick! As a first time for everything.
When was the last time we've seen this? This is a ridiculous game. Oh, Dave, this is a game that just defies all sense. Harry Kane with a free kick goal. This game is defying any sort of sense, any sort of logic. Any logic has been defied.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, off moon boots. Or no, off for Richarlison. It was off for Richarlison. Or no, off Doherty. Doherty, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a Kane goal. Absolutely unbelievable strike by Harry Kane. Free kick.
Oh, that could be a Doherty goal.
Who said the man can't strike free kicks? Who said he can't score free kicks? It's a beauty.
Oh, that's a Doherty goal.
Yeah, it was a bit of a Doherty deflection. Yeah. Very kind deflection from Doherty there. Very kind deflection.
No, it's a Doherty goal.
Even Harry Kane saying it's a Doherty. Come on, that was my strike, mate. Parrott coming on. Harvey White coming on. And Malachy Walcott coming on.
Harvey White, yes. There you are, Dark Sun G. We get to see Harvey White as well.
Sawyers as well is coming on. Interesting. Come on, Troy.
There's only one Troy Parrott.
What's someone giving out to the referee for?
Oh, has he been taken off?
Surely not.
Oh, you can't do that, Antonio. You can't.
And he's taking Kane off.
Oh, he's really unhappy about this.
Oh, no, it's water break.
Water break.
No, I think he was saying to the referee, I think he was unhappy about the referee sending off your man. I think that's what he was speaking to the referee about.
That would make sense.
Might be right. Like,
look.
Where is Sonny now?
Jack's correct. Every other game where there's something on the line, that's a red card all day. But I have seen in preseason in times gone by where they try not to give red cards, you know, just because everyone's there for the workout, really. So
yeah,
I think some might be unhappy with that. You know, I think some might be a little bit unhappy with that.
I agree with him. I agree with him.
I liked the way Matty put it, where you said that someone like this, they just came on, maybe there's just a bit of nerves there, they still want to, finish this game and, have the experience of playing with Son instead of just getting sent off and treated like it were a normal game. That is a bit harsh. I mean, like,
I feel bad about that. I mean, they could bring him back on or something. I think in a preseason game, that's poor from the referee.
Stellini looked a bit upset about something as well.
He's poor.
Conte did too, to be fair.
Free kick.
To be fair, Stellini always looks upset.
Big up.
Højbjerg.
That's a foul by Paris.
Everyone delighted with Kane scoring. Absolutely everybody. Big up Stevie Fraser. Says we want to be killers. Kieran Spiteri says JRD not a chance. Joseph Tyler says rather still see Son take free kicks over Kane, which is fair.
Same.
Big up Ribsy, Leighton, Evelyn, 4 art below. Daniel Field, big up my man. Mandy Fox, loads of people still with us. Absolutely buzzing now. 5-3 pulled away from the K-League 11. Happy days.
We haven't seen Basuma feature.
He's out through illness.
Pulled out today with illness.
Oh, interesting.
Him and Fraser Forrester.
Interesting.
It's just such typical Tottenham.
Yeah.
That we get in 5 players for pre-season and 4 of them are unavailable today.
Yeah.
How typical is that?
Unbelievable.
And even the Longley situation of Visa as well. But
Yeah.
they couldn't do anything about that. But,
So
even that is also just typical.
it's Forster and Basuma with illness, Perisic with injury, and Longley with the visa. That's shocking.
Where's Harvey White playing? Left back, left wing back.
Is it? No, I'd say Charlie Sayers will be out there.
So
Harvey
Looks
White.
like Doherty moved to right wing back. Doherty has moved to right wing back. Lucas was clearly taken off. Parrott
Richarlison
playing.
is off then.
Parrott maybe playing a bit behind Harry Kane.
Yeah, he's played that before for Ireland and up through the youth age as well. Also, it is Harvey White left wing back, Charlie Sayers kind of left centre back.
Oh,
lovely
Harvey!
Oh, well
Lovely.
done.
Unbelievable.
Lovely Harvey. Drive Sonny. Drive Sonny. Oh, he's going
Sorry,
rampage.
Parrott,
Burnley.
Oh,
He's going
he has
for a
Burnley in his
goal.
mind. Oh, what a ball, Parrott!
Oh,
Go on,
Parrott!
Parrott! Oh,
Oh, my
no.
God.
Unlucky.
Oh,
What play by Harvey White back in the corner to make the tackle and find Sonny.
tell you
Good
what,
effort there by Sonny to try and play Parrott in behind.
you and I would have lost our minds if
Oh.
Troy Parrott scored.
I really wanted to make an impact.
It was a brilliant run, very well timed off the shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, unlucky. I was good defending by Troy Parrott out that side. Or not by Troy
Harvey
Parrott,
White.
by Harvey White.
Yeah.
Brilliant piece of defending.
We have 190 in the house, everybody. Do smash that like button while you're in here, everybody. Hopefully you've been enjoying the watch along so far. It's been probably a game that I don't really know how to understand. It's been quite confusing. It's been a bit basketball-esque, with just how the goals have gone in, ones that you would least expect, ones that have been spectacular finishes. But everybody, the season has started. Preseason has begun. Looks like Spurs will have some ridiculous scoreline at the end of this, but maybe we're going to grab, the win to start it off. We've had some good performances, and I think, we're getting the watch along started the right way, Dave, with the timer, the scoreboard, and everything. We've had close to, I think, 200 this whole time. So really do appreciate everybody in the Harris Army and everybody that's supported so far. And do smash that subscribe if you are new to the watch alongs, because we are going to be doing them for all preseason games. We're going to do them for some of the youth games as well, Dave. And on top of that, of course, for all of Tottenham's games as well.
Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. I cannot wait. I mean, this is what I love, Jack, sitting here watching the games with you and everybody else that joins us in the chat. The likes of Matty who comes on and helps us out as well. This is what I live for. This is what I love, my man. So it's great to be back, and I can't wait now to do some on the under 23s now as well, or whatever it's called now.
Okay,
Great
what a ball.
Sonny unlucky. Sonny retrieves it. It's gone out. But I'm delighted to be back. And look, this is what we live for. It's been a hard 6 weeks with the no football, and it's just great to have us back.
It's just beautiful there. Kane played his typical kind of out in the right half space, sweeping ball across the Son. The ball ran out of play, but Son kind of looked back and smiled. He was like, yeah, I'm ready for this again.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant ball by Kane.
That's on all game long, that.
Look at that
That's
smile.
on the last 10 minutes.
Sarah getting stuck in. Oh, it's not Sarah. Who's number 4? Oh, that Fagan Walcott, number 46.
Yeah.
Stepping out of defence there. I like it. The confidence.
Yeah. Oh, come. Papa Massar could have went for that there.
Turned way too easily by Gerso.
Played around way too easy there. The K-League 11 just trying to keep a bit of possession, trying to build up another attack. Game is dying out a little bit.
Thoughts on Richarlison's performance? Dave, I feel like he looked excellent in the first half, and then, had some moments where maybe, we could have been asking for more, but he's also shown some moments of real quality that I think we're forgetting about. Like, again, that moment where he held it up with his chest. There's one stage where he had no one around him, and he was able to take it like 30 yards up the pitch, then earn a free kick. I think we are seeing what we are getting from Richarlison. He played that through ball into Sonny, which, again, any other game would have been a red card. I think Richarlison's actually had a good game.
Look, on another day, Jack, he could have had a brace when he rounded the keeper, and then that header that he kind of tamely put towards goals. So, look, for me, I think Richarlison has had a decent game. Look, I do expect more from him, but I think that will come when his fitness comes, because he's been away on holiday. He's been away. He only joined up with the squad as they were flying out to Korea, so he hasn't had any training whatsoever. Only the training that we've done the last couple of days out in Korea. Before that, he hasn't got any. So for me, I think it's fair to judge him more when he's up to speed. But I like what I've seen today. A player that's not fit could have had 2 goals, some decent link-up play. His hold-up play, I thought, was very good today at times as well.
Mhm.
So for me, look, I wouldn't write him off. I was saying this when we were talking TV. I think look, it comes from a place of hurt, but we're too quick to judge players in a negative way, in my opinion. And I think we're too quick to make them a part of the problem before they've even arrived here and given a chance. So for me, I would say, look, we've seen what you get from Richarlison. He's Premier League proven. So I'm not worried about it. I know what we spent the money on. I've seen him for the last 4 years.
Mhm. Oh, beautiful exchange from Papa Matasar and Højbjerg.
Come on,
Højbjerg plays
Paris.
Parrot. Pick your head
Just
up.
hit
What
it.
a hit.
Go for
Just
it.
hit it. Parrot.
Yeah.
Oh!
He tries to play it into Sonny's part there, I think, when he hit that.
He looked like he wanted to play someone else instead of just taking it in there. He looked a bit hesitant.
Do you know what, that reminded me very much of the first goal he scored at the new stadium. Remember that opening game? I think Harvey White got the first goal, Parrot got the second off that left foot in the top bins. He was trying to reenact that.
Speaking of which, Matt, the hottest Spurs saying Harvey White better than Ben White. Maybe Harvey White versus Ben Scheidt. Now that Harvey White, if he were to make the squad, would we actually have the best surname, in North London?
Easy. Yeah, I mean, Ben White isn't even a Champions League footballer. Harvey White is. Come on. It's a no-brainer. No-brainer.
Love that answer. And also seeing Harvey White at left wing back is fascinating, to be fair, because it's something that I've heard that he can do, that he can play as a left back, but to actually be seeing it right now is very, very interesting. And, he was able to have a good one-on-one, sort of moment there in the defensive sense. I know he's going to have good delivery from out there because he is basically more of a central midfielder anyways. So I bet he does have good delivery from those sort of areas. I don't know. Perhaps Harvey White could be like a Zinchenko or something out there, Dave. What do you think?
For me, look, Jack, I'm a real big fan of this kid. I've watched bits of him for the underage teams, and look, he can play left back. He's comfortable. He's left-footed. He can play centre mid as well. He does prefer to play centre mid.
Parrish, no, it's just not going to happen.
No, it's not. And one thing he's got is a very good ball on him, Jack. For me, though, he's getting on a little bit now, and he hasn't really been given that chance.
Oh, huge mistake!
Oh, give it to Paris!
Lovely, Sonny.
Come on, Sonny!
No, I'm not happy.
Lovely, Sonny.
Beautiful.
That's really poor.
Beautiful. That is shocking by Korean 11.
Wow, what a gift. This has been a wild game.
Let's just see what happens here. But that's a beautiful finish. And Matty, I agree with you. It's just not going to happen for Parrot. Everything seems to be that yard ahead of him. But look at this. Korean 11 trying to pass it around the back. Passes it across the centre back. You never do that. He's tried to play it out, and he's just played straight to Sonny. Sonny rounds him and the keeper and just slots it home. Keeper very erratic there as well. Very poor. Too easy for Sonny. Too easy. That's it. 6-3. Game over. Happy days. Now let's get Parrot and White on the score sheet.
Still wanted to see Richie get on the score sheet, but, it's going to happen against Sevilla.
Nice. Well, he's off. Yeah, he's off.
Well, it's going to happen against Sevilla.
Yeah. And look, it's only a matter of time before he scores, Jacko. It's too easy. Good finish by Sonny. He's looked sharp since he's come on, Runs in behind. Most of his touches has been spot on. 2 goals, striking the ball cleanly. Happy days. He's been good. Yeah. Same as Kane. Kane's been very good since he's come on as well.
Harvey White getting stuck in there again. And Dave, what are your thoughts on that? Because could he be, or Matty, Matt, like, I've kind of likened him to being like a Zinchenko perhaps out there, not going to be blistering pace or anything, but quality kind of technical player perhaps on the wingback position. Not saying Harvey White is going to be a left wingback for us in any means, but that is sort of what he would offer out there if we did play him out there.
Yeah,
like
for
a
definitely.
Zinchenko sort of player, I think.
Yeah, and I think we've been looking at Perisic as a mentor for Sessegnon, but he could definitely be the same for Harvey White. And I think he'd have, I suppose, a very similar skill set to the other two, in that he's able to play further up the pitch. He's maybe even more of a ball player than Perisic and Sessegnon. Right. I'd say that probably more in style than ability, but definitely he could be an option out there. And with Reguilon going, I think there's probably more of an opportunity to get him into that first team setup. If Perisic or Sessegnon pick up an injury, or if they're suspended, you would assume with the squad we have right now, minus Reguilon, that Harvey White would be the option to step up in there. I mean, Charlie Sayers, it's poor touch from him there. I wouldn't say he's near the level to step up there instead of Harvey White. So yeah, it's an opportunity for him. I having said that, I would still like to see him maybe get loaned out to a championship team. Yeah, because he went to Portsmouth the season before last, and he did well there, but he's been playing mainly as a centre midfielder. maybe send him to a championship team who need a left back and play him out there and challenge him out on that side as well. And then maybe then we can start to see where he's best suited to, and hopefully we can get him in that first team set up in a year or two.
Yeah, I really like that answer. And, you know, as much as I want to see Harvey White, you know, kind of play in the Spurs shirt, it's lovely to see him, you know, in all the training videos and stuff, you know, kind of have our new homegrown player, you know, kind of brought through the ranks in the team. But you're right, you know, maybe a loan to Norwich or something like that would just be exactly what he needs, because we saw how much it worked out for Skip. I think we could see some very, you know, similar benefits if we did the same with Harvey White. I agree.
I would suggest, though, Session does have a history of injuries. So if he does get injured, what do you do? And I do think partly Conte might be
Harvey White again.
Getting stuck in.
What a challenge. I do think Conte partly might be planning to loan Harvey White out, and that's why he tested Doherty over at left wing back for a little while. But for me, I would keep the kid around, you know. I really would keep him around, because you just don't know what's going to happen to Session. And from what I've seen so far today, I get it's preseason, but he's handled it better down that side defensively than what any of them did today.
A lot of people are really liking, you know, Harvey White in the chat so far, and even Shamu has gone as far to say that Harvey White should be proud of the performance he's been able to put in, and kind of how few minutes he's even played. You know, he's actually made, you know, some few challenges, played a few nice passes here and there as well. Like, honestly, he's done well with, you know, whatever, you know, kind of sort of minutes he's been given.
And that's all you can ask from him. You know, you can't, like, that's all you can ask from the kid. Anything that he has to deal with it, do it well, and do it nice and easy. And that's what he done. Look at that attendance.
That is huge.
64,100.
A home away from home, Dave. Just like you said, a home away from home.
Pre-season, that is unbelievable. It was sold out in 25 minutes as well, I believe.
That's
silly. Incredible.
That's
more than we can fit in our own stadium. Like,
yeah, it's unbelievable.
Adrian Chia saying Pool's defense were crap yesterday. Are we too harsh on ours? I did hear that they lost 4-0, you know, Liverpool, but they couldn't finish a thing, as well as what I heard. But I don't know, Dave, maybe are we being a bit harsh on the defense today, considering Liverpool did concede 4?
No, because you know, Virgil van Dijk, you look at the players they have across that back line, you know they're only going to get better. These are players that have won the Champions League. These are players that have won FA Cup, League Cup, Premier League not so long ago. You know they're going to come good. They've been to that level. But for us, when I see our defenders making, like, you would look at the Liverpool mistakes, you'd say it's uncharacteristic, it's preseason. But when you look at our mistakes, Jack, they're the exact same that happened last season. And the difference is with someone like Sanchez, he should be coming here ready, like I've already said. I get what Adrian Chi is saying. And look, maybe I am being a bit harsh, but it's just the sort of fan I am. I see these problems. And
what a ball, Harvey White. Oh, he can do it all. Send Perisic back to Inter. We don't need him.
Beautiful. But, like, well, when I look at this, Jack, like, for me, it's just not good enough. I can already foresee the problems coming. I called it right on Harry Winks. I've called it right on a lot of these players. And I think, unfortunately, I'm right again on Sanchez. For me, a player that comes in and keeps 6 clean sheets across the season, and he's played so many games, it's not good enough. It's not at the level we need to challenge Liverpool and City. If we're happy with the level we're at right now, okay, fine. By all means, maybe, yeah, being a bit harsh. But if you have ambitions of winning a Premier League, I know we're not winning it with Dyer and Sanchez as the 2 options at centre-back. I know that.
When was the last time we had 2 Irish players on the field at the same time for Spurs is what's being asked.
Come on.
Parrot.
Oh, it's Parrot.
Oh.
No.
Harry!
What a connection.
What I hit
Out of all the ones, I thought he was going to absolutely destroy. Good save connection there. I thought that one he was actually going to hit absolute. Oh, thought he was going to screamer that one. That was
unbelievable. Troy Parrott just needs to compose himself a little, skin him, make the half a yard.
It's good.
Great effort. Look at that. Again, the Korean wind being kind to his hair. Come on, Sonny, put a decent ball in here.
We want 7. We need
the 10th. We need the 10th.
Nice.
That's mad.
10 goals in a game.
Oh, something fancy happening. That's a Gianni Vio tactic if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Players just running around like headless chickens.
Oh, beautiful. Who's that?
That's Parrot.
Well held up by Parrot. Hugo Lloris. Straight in. Look.
Nice,
Brilliant.
Hugo.
Let's go.
It's good by Fagan
He's
Walker.
behind. He wants the hat trick.
Switches on.
Beautiful take.
Højbjerg.
Mara
Have a hit,
Doherty.
Højbjerg. Oh, what a
Sonny in the hat trick.
He kicks fresh air.
look at that no-look
That's
left-footed
it, isn't
through
it?
ball
That's
by
game.
Højbjerg.
He's one tired man.
He's bollocksed. He was on for the hat trick. That would have been incredible for him. Do you know what? I was saying this morning on the pre-match build-up. I knew some would come ready. I said that this morning. I said some will come ready for this, which in turn will have a knock-on effect with him being ready for
And that's game.
and he'll go on to be unbelievable. And as Jack has said, that is full time, everybody. It has finished Tottenham 6, Team K League 3. Son 2, Harry Kane with 2. Just so many goals. Eric Dyer with 1 and an own goal.
One goal by Kim Jin Hyuk.
And an own goal. And that rounds off Tottenham's goals. Jack, over to you, my man.
To be fair, Dave, I don't know if the scoreline is something I could have predicted, but the way this sort of game went is sort of kind of typical of a preseason. You know, you have these moments when you're just like reminded how good, you know, some of your players are. You know, we saw Bentancur, you know, skipping past players. You know, we saw Sonny and Kane, the moment that they came on, you know, they prove how world-class they are. They can get a goal within seconds. And then we saw players like Hill Messi, you know, maybe show that, you know, he can bring something to this team. Harvey White looked insane. Papa Matasar, I actually thought was an interesting one. Like to see a bit more of him, maybe to make, you know, a better conclusion next time. But there were also some shocking moments, you know, as good as much as there were really good performances and kind of, you know, fun players to watch. There were some really shocking ones. And I think the one that we probably have touched on a lot has been the fact that Eric Dyer and Sanchez did not cover themselves in any glory or cover themselves in really any credit at all as center backs or as defenders, because they really were getting bullied at times. They didn't really know where their defender or where their marker was, or, you know, who was actually making a run beyond them. There were times when there were just 2 or 3, you know, kind of opposition players right behind them, and they had no idea that they were even there. So I would say maybe the one sort of glaring, you know, kind of thing that maybe, you know, needs to be pointed out is that the defending did not look so great. But I actually thought going forward, we did look pretty scary and we did look pretty strong. And we often had 4 or 5 players, you know, in attack at certain stages, which is exactly what you want to see as a Spurs fan, because we do love our attacking football. But maybe just the one negative, I would say the defending from, you know, Dyer and Sanchez was pretty poor, because I don't even know if you could say that about Romero. I don't really know if you could say it about Tanganga. You know, it really was just Dyer and Sanchez looked pretty shocking, actually.
Yeah. Look, I agree with you. Look, before I go into mine, because I can tend to go on a bit of a tangent at times. You know,
I mean, I tried to summarize the whole thing, Dave. So, you know, you're welcome to go on one.
No, I'll go after Matty. I want to get Matty, and I'll go after Matty. Matty, again, like Jack, I mean, what's your pros take away from this, and what's your cons? And big up everybody in the chat as well. Absolute legends. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for the watch along today. Keep smashing that like button and that subscribe button. And guys, chat is moving quickly. People are enjoying the game. Feel free to get your super chat in. It skips you to the very top of the queue, and we will get onto it and have a very good discussion on your points. But Matty, my man, pros and cons, brother.
Oh, the cons have to be some of the defensive fragilities that we showed throughout that game, and they're just showing that second goal here again, and the ball is pulled back to Velvik in the edge of the box, and you know, everyone is kind of running back in with the line, and then the striker himself just stops that run and pulls out to the edge of the box, and it's an easy ball to him. It's the exact same as the goal we conceded to Chelsea. It was Antonio Rudiger when he scored their 3rd goal. So you'd hope that things like that wouldn't happen again. Look, I know it's pre-season. I'm not going to get worked up about that, but if we're here to analyze, defensively we were weak. That first goal is avoidable from, first of all, stopping that cross, then that second one, Dyer maybe could be better positioned, but then Sanchez, seeing the entire situation unfold in front of him, probably should have been quicker to stop that header coming in. The second goal, we were just caught in 2 minds. Are we pushing out, or are we staying back here from the set piece? Then the 3rd goal, stupid foul by Sanchez, the wall pulling apart, and Lloris not really making much of an effort to get to the ball. So 3 goals that were massively avoidable to concede. But like Jack said, we were good going forward. There's some very, very good link-up play from Richarlison and Brian Hill, who, you know, Richarlison never played with this team before. For Hill, it's been 6, 7, 8 months since he's been in this team. There was good link-up play there. Bentancur was really good. Skip was good. Sarr was tidy when he came on. Harvey White did well. Troy Parrott unlucky not to get in the score sheet. There's certainly a lot more positives to take from that than negatives. And again, fitness-wise, to go in a game like that, 90 minutes in that heat. I know obviously a lot of changes along the way, but yeah, I think it's definitely a very, very good day out for Spurs.
Yeah, and look, I agree with you two guys. I think I think the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. Look, we'll start with the positives because I am quite a positive person. I think our front players came correct, and it's what I expected. I mean, we all knew Harry Kane had a point to prove this season. He came correct. Sonny, I mean, like when you listen to the interview his father gave that said he needs to be 10% better just because he's happy with where he's at. That's where the decline starts. He needs to be 10% better if he wants to be world class. Then Sonny comes out and answers it, and it's like, well, if I was world class, you wouldn't even ask me this question. So I like what's coming out from him. I knew he'd come correct to this preseason, which will in turn take its will take him into the season. I reckon him and Kane will have unbelievable seasons. I think Richarlison could have had a couple of goals today again. I think had a decent enough game. I was very impressed with Brian Hill in the first half, dropping in rather than going in behind every time, dropping in, playing these 1-2s. Very impressed with him in the first half. I think midfield, I think Bentancur and Skip first half were brilliant. More so Bentancur than Skip, but they were both equally as good. But it's the same problems. It's that defense. It's the same problems we had last season, where that defense has moments where it will switch off, where they can't pass out from the back. You look at some of the goal in the first half, and their first goal in the first half is because we couldn't pass out from the back. We could not pass out from the back. We invited the pressure on ourselves, and they went and punished us. You look at the goal in the first half. Eric Dyer in no man's land, and Sanchez going for the header with his feet rather than his head. And it's just simple mistakes, and it's things that we don't seem to be rectifying from last season, which is a concern for me, if I'm honest. And for me, I do think there's a positive spin on this, where now it's probably clear we do need to go into that market. We do need to look flat centre back that is aggressive, that wants to defend. And I know again, people are going to see to me, David's preseason. But if I was in their situation, or I'm on the periphery of the team, and I really want to play for Tottenham Hotspur, I'll come preseason ready. No excuses whatsoever. I train also. You only get to go on summer if you played all season. It's your reward. If you've barely played, you train all summer and you come correct. And Sanchez has failed to do that. Dyer is still showing the same problems that he showed last season. It's not good enough defensively. It will cost us. And people are going to say it's the K-League. Brilliant. But then that reflects into the Premier League. Brighton, Dyer switched off. And there's more games where it's happened against smaller teams. Look at the cup upsets we've had over the years. Zagreb, Colchester, games that should never be happening. It's because defensively we switch off. And that cannot continue to happen. So hopefully we are in the market now for a centre-back, because to me it's clear we need it. But like I said, a lot more positives than negatives.
Isn't it a good thing, though, Dave, that I think this Korean 11, really proved that, they're actually quite decent players on that pitch. And, Matt brought up before that, they're mid-season as well. So they're quite warmed up. They have, probably less of a loose touch on them, than maybe some of our players do. And had we maybe played a Colchester or like a Lincoln City or something kind of ridiculous that, wouldn't really be a real test to Dyer and Sanchez, maybe we wouldn't have seen these mistakes. These mistakes wouldn't have happened because the opposition isn't really good enough to make them force mistakes. So this Korean 11 kind of exposed in a good way, and almost I don't like to put it this way, but kind of thank them, for the fact that they were a good enough opponent, Dave, to make, Spurs, look a bit awkward at certain times. They made us kind of sweat, in certain moments. They kind of gave us some challenges that a Colchester just would never have done. We would have just kind of slept walk, through the whole, sort of game, where this Korean 11 gave us a good game. And I kind of have to thank them for that, if you know what I mean.
No, look, they were always going to come and give it a good game. They said that in the build-up to the game. We're not here to make up numbers and participate. We're here. We feel like we can beat them. They came with a game plan. When Emerson was out on the right-hand side, they loaded up down that side. They came with a game plan to try and beat us. Is it a coincidence they put balls into the box and scored from that? No. All they had to do was look at our highlight reels from last season. You'll see the same thing time and time again. They came here ready to beat us. And look, at the end of the day, it is first game of the preseason. Probably really shouldn't take a lot until the likes of Rangers and Roma, where you hope they really are starting to gear up and be ready. But, I mean, it's just the same things from last season. And it's, for me, we've said this, chat, that's something you can only rectify in the market. These players are at our age now where they're not really going to learn anything new. They're past the coachable stage.
Mm. Kind of some other maybe performances that I thought maybe are worth maybe speaking about as we're kind of sort of wrapping up here. Harvey White, is someone that a lot of people are really impressed with. And this is a big theme for me. I know I mentioned it till I'm blue in the face, Dave, but what I like about preseason, and Matt as well, what I like about preseason is you sort of get to find out, what players maybe have been written off too soon by fans, what players maybe might prove something to Conte. Maybe they don't want to be sent out on loan. They kind of want to just have a spot in that squad, to be able to participate in this huge season that's going to happen. Harvey White showed something. I'm not sure yet with Papa Matasar. We said earlier, Brian Hill, showed something. Troy Parrott came on, looked a bit nervous, but was, working hard and got himself some good opportunities at the end of the game, to be fair to him as well. Matt, I know this is too early, but this is just how I am. This is my style. Would you make a prediction as to maybe any sort of, kind of proliferary sort of, player that might actually, make an impression on Conte and won't get loaned out or won't get, kind of moved on, after this preseason? Is it going to be Brian Hill? Is it going to be Troy Parrott, Harvey White? Who really impressed you, I would say?
I think, look, like you said, it's too early to really know for sure. But from the players that were out there today, the one that I'd say if we're looking at the one who showed the most quality, it would probably be Harvey White. I think defensively he was fantastic. There was 3 or 4 challenges he put in there. There's one attack that he started playing the ball to Son, which nearly resulted in a good chance for Troy Parrott. But for me, the player that looked the most comfortable and the least out of place was Pape Matar Sarr. He was in the middle of the park and he just fit in. He's a big lad as well. He has the physique. He's tall. He was comfortable in possession. I think he was linking up well with Højbjerg, both defensively and offensively, I suppose. Parrott was very good. He was getting involved. I thought Hill, as David said in the first half, or Hill Messi, I apologize. He was linking up well with the players around him. I think they all definitely showed something promising. But for me, Sarr is the player that looked the most comfortable there. And to be honest,
I like that.
To be honest, with getting all of them on the pitch, of course, Charlie Sayers as well, Malachy Fagan, Walcott, getting all of them on the pitch, look, in one sense you can look at it as getting game time away from the established players that they try to get back their match fitness. But if we play all of them for 20-30 minutes in these preseason games and there's one player there that we end up taking into the squad for next season, it's worth it, because that's one extra option and an extra bit of depth that we have in whatever position. So it's a good experience for all of them. I mean, look at Charlie Sayers. Towards the end of last season, he was playing non-league football with Southend United, and now he's out here in Korea in front of 64,000 people playing with some of the best players in the Premier League. Even just that experience for them is fantastic. But yeah, if I had to pick from that, I would say Sarr. But for me, I'm still not convinced he won't be loaned out for the season ahead.
He looks tall, he's tall like Bentancur, Dave. I think Matt, brings a good point there. As much as he is a young kid, he doesn't exactly, look like, the physique of, a real young kid. He's got some height to him. He has, a bit of hard working. I noticed that, he was doing something like what Bentancur does. When Højbjerg pressed, he pressed. When Højbjerg stepped, he stepped. He made some pretty audacious passes, for a young kid as well. Shows that he has a bit of confidence. He was willing to, go for a riskier pass, to try to open things up. I really liked, the looks of Papa Matasar. I didn't expect that answer from Matt, but I actually really agree with him there. As much as we all want Hill Messi to be the one, to prove something, to Conte, Papa Matasar does look like a guy who could maybe play in the Premier League. He's, built for it, maybe.
Look, first of all, I will say it's great to finally have a presence in there, unlike Harry Winks. So, I mean, that's a huge bonus. He has more presence in there in 45 minutes than what Harry Winks has had in about 3 years. So, credit to the kid. Is he ready? I'll be honest. I look at him. I'm not sure he's ready right now. I think it will take a year of him being out on loan or being nurtured and dipped in and out, maybe for him to get ready. Physically, the lad is ready. But Ndombele is physically, ready sometimes, but like what do we get out of him? It all comes down to desire and hard work.
I think that's being a bit kind to Tanguy. I wouldn't say he's really physically or mentally ready, Dave. So
yeah, true. But what I will say, it comes down to the kid now. Keep his head, keep working hard, keep doing what you're doing, have a positive attitude, and he'll be just fine at Tottenham. He's a lot of players he can work off. Bentancur, Bissouma, Højbjerg, probably even be able to learn a thing or two off Skip. Hopefully him and Skip can form a nice relationship. That'd be brilliant. But I look at Sarr, he was in and out of the Mets team a lot last season. I think he was actually out of it more than he was in it. I believe. But so for me, I'm not sure he's ready to come in and make an impact and hit the starting lineup. But look, he's useful. He'd be useful for the likes of FA Cup, League Cup games, early rounds. But look, for me, I'll be honest. I'd rather loan him out, and I'd rather keep Harvey White. And let me tell you why. Because Harvey White could play centre back and left wing back. So Harvey White, he's been loaned out. He's getting on. He's what, 21 now? I think 21, bordering 22. He hasn't been given a fair chance. And for me, I would rather give him the chance. If Seth Young is injury prone, so it's a risk loaning out Harvey White if we're selling Regulon, because you look at Sawyer's, he's just not ready. Like Matty said, he played. Well, he comes from non-league. You know what I mean? He was playing lower leagues of English football. So for me, I think it'd make more sense for us to keep Harvey White because he can be back up for midfield and left wing back. And let's see what the kid can do. Let's give him a chance. He's been touted for years in and around the academy as the next one to come through, break through. Yeah. Let's give him that chance. Don't loan him out. Loan out Papa Matasar again and keep White and let's see what he can do. Because White impressed me today, Jack. I mean, I know he only made a bit of a cameo, but everything
he did what he could.
He was cool, calm, collected. No one got by him. You know, in fact, the first attempt they tried to get by him, he took the ball off him and played it through to Son. And that's when Son ran up, I think, played the ball in behind for Parrott, and it was just over hit. But, you know, for me, I'd much rather keep White, if I'm being honest. I'd rather loan out Papa Matasar.
Interesting answer there. Dark Sun G saying Sarr, White, and Hill always better than Winks, Tanguy, and Lo Celso. Come on, you Spurs. I think that's sort of the context that we're actually realizing is, Dave, when you even think about it that sort of way, you would actually rather keep Sarr, White, and Hill as if that meant, you know, Winks, Tanguy, and Lo Celso go. So that's how probably the state is even now. As much as I think all three of those players are quite project, you know, players that, you know, will need a bit of nurturing, will need a bit of development, you know, and they will have, you know, inconsistent games, and then they'll have great games, you know, mixed in there. But they're at least going to be much better influences in the squad. They're going to be much harder workers in the squad. They're not going to have the egos that I think Tanguy and Lo Celso did. And I guess at the end of the day, we just know they're also better players than Winks. So you would still rather have these three in the squad as long as those other three leave.
I've been saying about Harry Winks all the time. Fuck him out. Give me an Alfie Devine. Give me a Harvey White. I'd much rather see them get game time. Said it time and time again, even last season. And look, let's just look at Dark Sun G's comment here for a minute. Year and a half ago, we were trying to form a midfield with Winks, Tanguy, and Lo Celso. They were starting players. We're now at a stage where we should be, where Sarr, White, Gill, the likes of these players, are your periphery players, are your backup players looking to come in and improve.
Yeah.
And this is how far we've come over the space of 12 months. That comment there, when you look at it, it's unbelievable. It shows how far we've come in 12 months.
That's a really good point there, Dave. It really is. At 164 Spurs saying, how you doing, Dave and Matt? Welcome back, Jack the man. Come on, you Spurs. Appreciate that, 164. It's good to be back. No better time to come off of a bit of vacation while Dave was absolutely holding the whole fort down and honestly making the Irish Hotspur just absolutely blow up since I've been gone. I don't know what he was doing. Must have been working behind, you know, with the algorithm or something. The guy was going off. But 164, it's good to be back, and no better way to be back than to be, you know, met with preseason. I bet Dave's actually a bit jealous of me. Actually, I just got to fast forward, you know, all the way to this game, you know, with no build up at all. I just got to join in for the party. So 164 Spur. Appreciate the comment, my man, and it's good to be back, brother. Appreciate the donation as well.
Yeah,
Dark Sun G, we could not agree more, my man. We could not agree more. We have over 280 in the house right now, everybody. So if you are new to the Irish Hotspur, do smash that like button as well. Hit that subscribe. You have to put in, if you want to put in a comment, just hit that big red button, and you can join in the nice vibes and the nice, you know, sort of, you know, kind of outlook that we're having going into this summer, everybody. But everybody, keep getting those comments in. And if you do want to skip the queue, feel free to throw it in a super chat. It's a great way to support the channel. And also, if you did miss the watch along, feel free to go back and check out, you know, some of the goal reactions and whatnot, you know, some of the feed. We have the timer there and everything. You can check every single reaction. You can clip us up if you want us even. But yeah, everybody, hit that like button while you're in here. Dave, over 280 in the house right now. Absolutely insane. Absolutely. Just for a preseason game.
Yeah, absolutely incredible numbers. And look,
it's only 9 a.m. over here in Brooklyn right now. It just turned 9 a.m. as well. You know, it's absolutely
crazy.
Nuts.
It's crazy. Look, ideally, there should be 280 likes on the channel. So that would be unbelievable if everybody could. Look, what you should do is fall in line like Tottenham soldiers and smash that like button. That's what should happen right now. But big up, everybody. Look, I'm just so overjoyed that we're back. We're winning. And that we don't have to, we're not sitting here talking about weeks and end on belly and the cell. So can we get more out of them? Can they do this? Can they do that? I'm just so glad that we're sitting here. Like, look, we got to see Richarlison in action today. We're going to get to see more against Sevilla, more new signings against Rangers, Roma. It's exciting times to be alive. We are finally building a squad of players that we can be proud of. You know, senior players to youth players. It's honestly, I'm just so happy with how far we've come and the strides we've made in 12 months. Absolutely big up Paratici and Antonio Conte. It's been amazing with the turnaround they've done at this club since they've got here. And but look, I do think bigger tests are to come of the likes of Gil, Papa Matar, Harvey White, Matty. I mean, Sevilla coming up, Rangers, Roma. Do you think that's when we should be judging these youngsters rather than a game like today?
I think you're on mute, Maddie.
Apologies. Yes and no. I think
Mm-hmm.
when we're playing those better teams, it's going to be more of a challenge than these young players have ever really faced before. I mean, they're players who are more experienced, more developed, more acclimatized to first team football than them. So I wouldn't use that as a the ultimate judge of what level they're at. But also, I think the more time as that fitness comes up, as they spend more time training with the first team and fully getting the Conte system, I'd like to see more of an adaptation to what we're trying to do. I saw, I think it was Lily White Rose put up on Twitter yesterday. He was at the Spurs under-21 game. They played against Enfield Town, and he was saying, they play at a 4 at the back. There's a massive, massive difference between how the youth team play and how the first team play. That's something that I think needs to be uniform across the team. And that's something that Mauricio Pochettino was very, very big on when he was at Tottenham. The 4-2-3-1 that we played first team, the under-23s played it, the under-21s played it, the under-18s played it, the OAP team played it, whatever it was. Every single team played in that same way. So they might not have the familiarity with that system. So maybe that way, as the games do progress, you'd hope to see a little bit more from that. But in terms of quality and impact in the game, playing against a Sevilla or a Roma or a Rangers, I'd maybe expect that impact to lessen a little bit, but still I'd be hoping to see more from them for sure.
But isn't that why Simon Davies was brought in, the head of methodology, to make sure that we now start playing the same way that we do in the senior team, so that it's not really that much of a hard transition, so that they are ready to come in?
Yeah, maybe. Look, I mean, it's the beginning of what I think will be a very, very long process. With Conte, I think it is separate to that process because, I mean, look, we don't know if Conte is going to be here next summer. We don't know if he's going to be here the summer after. Yeah. But in terms of what Fabio Paratici is doing, he's definitely a more long-term man than Conte, and he's trying to build this huge structure within the club so that when Conte does move on, the next manager that comes in, it's not going to have to be an entire reset process. Like Conte, he's had to reshape this entire club top to bottom with Paratici. Whereas, but what's going on with bringing in Greta Steinson, bringing in Simon Davis, bringing in Gianni Vio, there's someone else we brought in as well. That way, when a new manager comes in, yeah, that's the one. When that new manager comes in after Antonio Conte, whenever it is, there's already a huge structure in place from top to bottom, and all he has to do is worry about that first team. So for me, it's a lot more that these people are being brought into. But I think, as you say, having someone who can work with Paratici, work with Conte, and then work with those youth players, there should be more parity and a more uniform approach to the way the teams play. But I do think that there's much more going on than that.
Yeah.
Really like that answer, Matty. Dark Sun G with a super chat saying, I'm happy that Skip is back, healthy, and upgraded. That's kind of an interesting way to put that, Dark Sun G, because he is back and healthy. He was actually dealing with a really, really serious injury that I think he was sort of like playing through at one stage because we were in such a bad position with our central midfield options. I think Skip was kind of carrying an injury that season and kind of aggravating it and making it worse to the state that when they actually assessed him, they really didn't feel comfortable actually bringing him back into play. The injury was that serious, or that much of kind of an annoying one, you could say, for him. But he has, he originally, Dave, a lot of people thought that Skip was our best midfielder. Fast forward, 6-7 months later, he's been upgraded nearly 2 times. As much as we all love Skip, we've gotten in 2 upgrades on top of him, which is insane.
It's a sad state of affairs that was the conversation back then, Jack, because a young kid like Skip, don't get me wrong, good player, but should never, ever
have that
be
responsibility.
Your best midfielder at that age at Tottenham Hotspur. who only played in the championship the year before. That should never, ever
Yeah,
happen.
only gooners
At
do
a
that,
big
Dave. They
club.
rely on a 19-year-old like
Exactly.
Saka, and look what happened to them. And it's a good point there, Dave. As much as you want to see Skip succeed, at the same time, you're not, supposed to put all that pressure on him.
It should just never happen. The size of the football club we're at should just never happen. And you're right, pressure shouldn't be putting that pressure on him. And look, I'm glad that Basuma's come in, Bentancur has come in, Højbjerg's still there and had a decent enough half today as well. And for me, look, I think Skip would benefit off having that competition. He will be able to learn a bit off Bentancur in the passing department. He'll be able to learn a bit off Basuma in the ball carrying department. He'll be able to learn off Højbjerg in the tackling department. So there's a lot he can learn off, and I think it'll benefit from him having them options there. Yes, it might reduce some of his game time, but the game time he does get, because he's learned so much, he'll probably look like a better player. For him, it's a long game. Pochettino, Conte, and Jose Mourinho have all had praise about this guy, but I think more or less all of them have said kind of like future Tottenham captain. He's just got to bide his time, and I think he'll benefit from having the competition rather than walking in and being our best player, because he's by nowhere near the finished product. So that's embarrassing that we're at that stage, really. And it's not against Skip, it's against where we were. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a really good point there. And honestly, Dark Sun G, as much as we want Skip, to play as much as possible, he is one of our own. He is one that has the Spurs blood in him, just coursing through him. It just seems so ridiculous to put that sort of pressure that we were on him. And he was also carrying an injury on top of that sort of pressure that was on him. And it's good to see that, he's been given the time to, recover, as well as, taking, a bit of that pressure off, because I just don't think it's good for a kid like that. As good as he is, as much as I think we all have confidence in him, I know Philip Brady probably had the most confidence in him. He said at this rate, Dave, if he doesn't get injured, he's going to be in that England squad. And he probably would have been. He probably would have been, to be fair to the kid. But it's good to see that, we have made those upgrades. And that's why I kind of like that part of Dark Sun G super chat there, is that and upgraded, healthy and upgraded. It's a very good way to put it, Dark Sun G.
And Skip looked sharp today, by the way. He looked sharp, which is, he had a long injury layoff, and it's not easy to come back and look sharp, but he looked ready and sharp. He came correct. What Sanchez should have done, actually. Skip came correct.
Well said, Dave. And, maybe one of the last little points I kind of have here is I think we didn't really touch about the wing backs, maybe Sessegnon and Emerson. I saw back in the chat that they sort of kind of switched performances even. Like some people thought Emerson was really poor in the beginning, and then Sessegnon was actually looking good. And then they sort of kind of switched places where Emerson actually put in, I think, 2 decent balls, one to the back post and then one for Richarlison, to get a goal there. It's just Emerson also could have got a goal if he wasn't, absolutely shocking in front of the net there and actually went for the tackle instead of the shot. But some people are saying that Sessegnon, some in particular, looked more like Emerson, is what they were saying. Like, Sessegnon looked like the old Emerson, is even what someone put in the chat. Any thoughts on that, Dave? Were they kind of, any one of them worse than the other? Or were they just kind of both equally unimpressive? How do you feel with the wingbacks?
Both equally unimpressive. Look, had some decent moments and then had some atrocious moments. Look, Perisic will come straight in down that left-hand side, not a problem.
Yeah.
Sessegnon, do you know what it is, Jack? He's just too easy to read. No. Everyone knows he wants to go on his left foot. Now, when he is on his left foot, he can put in a good cross like we've seen. But the problem is when he gets into them areas is the inconsistency. Because 2 minutes later, he put one straight into the keeper's arms. And that's the problem with Sessegnon. It's not consistent enough, but he's always looking to go on the left foot as well. And at times the defenders read it and just ushered them. Sometimes he's got to learn. He's got to learn to do on his right foot. But defensively, he was weak as well. I think he was at fault for one of the goals. Mm-hmm. So, or it wasn't for one of the goals, sorry, but it was when he took out Sanchez, he beat out-muscled Sessegnon and then bet Dyer and put it wide. Should never have happened. And yeah, look, Emerson put in a good ball at one stage, but then missed the sitter from fucking 3 yards, Jack. I mean, then also had some atrocious touches on the ball. And it's this is the problem with the wing backs. Again, we talk about consistency. Yeah. You look at Kane, Son, Højbjerg, Skip, Bentancur, all come correct, all come ready. They had no points to prove. The players that did have points to prove, I wasn't overly impressed with. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
They didn't over-impress me. They both had points to prove, and did they prove it? No.
Yeah. Matty, equally unimpressive. Is that how you probably would describe, kind of the wingbacks after today? Even Matt Doherty was not that impressive either. the wingbacks, except for Harvey White, maybe was the only one.
I'd have to disagree with David on Sessegnon. I think he had a very strong end to last season. I'm not going to sit here and claim he's at the level that we need a left wing back to be at, but he's someone who it was his first real. Yeah, he did the job, but it was also his first real run in this Spurs team. You know, he was loaned out to Hoffenheim, where he had a very good start to the year, then kind of it really petered out towards the end of the year. He's had his injury problems. Even last season, he had a couple of times when he was getting in that first team, he was playing well, and then he just got injured. He got sent off, I know, at one point in the Conference League as well. So there's a lot more to come from him. And I think one thing that it's really easy to forget with Sessegnon, because he was in that Fulham team from the age of 17, he's still only 22 years of age, which, I mean, to put it into context, he's younger than Brandon Austin. He's a year younger than Brandon Austin. Who just kind of seems like a youth player. So I think there is a lot more to come from him. And this is the first pre-season he's going to get with Conte. So next season, he's going to have a pre-season with Conte and his coaching staff under the belt. He's going to have, I think, more first-team game time. I think he'll be rotated a lot with Perisic. He's going to have Perisic as a mentor. We know the quality is there. It's just fine-tuning that and kind of putting... I don't really know how to say it, but like the parts of his game that he's not the best at. And I don't think we're going to try and fix those, but we're going to try and make it irrelevant that he's not good at those things, if that kind of makes sense. You know, we're going to tactically try and get around stuff like that so he can play to his strengths. So I think there's a big season ahead for Sessegnon. I think with how he wasn't really at his best today, and even with Emerson, I mean, it's pre-season. It's the first game. They're going to be a little bit rusty. So I wouldn't be getting too upset about that. I mean, Emerson's dad has come out and said that apparently Antonio Conte said he's the number one choice for right back next season. I don't know how much I believe that, but if that is true, it shows that Conte sees something within the player that he can work with and that he can turn into a very good right wing back for Tottenham next season. I personally don't agree with that, but if that's what Conte sees, if that's what Conte wants, I will sit here and tell you I don't know nothing about football. So hopefully there's more to come.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, just quickly on Sessegnon. Like, we make out like he's a youngster, but he's been playing first team football since he's 17. He's been in around first team football for 5 years. I mean, he's not really a youngster, and for me, he hasn't progressed. I haven't seen the progression over that 5 years. I haven't seen him progress into anything. Brandon Austin is 23, but he spent most of his life playing academy football with the odd loan spell. Sessegnon has 5 years under his belt. I expect a better player. I expect a better end product. It's as talented as people say.
It's not 5 years of consistent football, though. I mean, that first season he was in that Fulham team, I think he played 17 in the Championship. I think he scored 25 goals that season. He came up into the Premier League. When he moved up there, he was played left wing back. He was played left wing. He was played right wing. He was played centre attack. He was played all over that pitch in a Fulham team that was so disjointed and lacking any bit of chemistry. They went down straight away. That's a very, very difficult season for any player, not to mind a player 18 years of age who really doesn't have time to develop his own game, because what he's trying to do is fill so many gaps left by the incompetence of the players around him. Then he comes into Spurs. That first season, injuries all over the place, not able to get into that first team, struggling with kind of every aspect of his game. Then he's loaned out to Hoffenheim. Like I said, that's a very up and down season. Then Spurs last year, he hasn't had, bar that first season in the Championship of Fulham, he hasn't had what I would see as a proper season of football. He hasn't had the chance to really put his head down, work hard, and turn himself into the player that we all know he can become. So it is 5 seasons since he's come into professional football, but I don't think any of those are really one that you can look at and say he's had the opportunities he's needed. He's had the luck that he's needed. He's been missing so much all the way throughout the career. And look, there's nothing to say that doesn't continue for the next 5 years. I mean, he could end up a Championship League One player in 5 years if those troubles continue to happen. So I think it's maybe just a bit harsh to judge him.
Yeah.
And the same way that you would another player who's had 5 years of football.
In defense of you, Maddie, as well, in defense of your argument, I am, have always, stuck my neck out for Emerson when I really probably shouldn't have in certain moments. And I think you made the point that, Sessegnon at the end of the day, when given that consistent spell of football, we did get top 4 with the kid, and he did put in some fantastic performances, but there were some moments that were a bit, kind of lacking what we really expect from, a world-class wingback, maybe in a Conte system. But, I've sort of said the same thing about Emerson. So I feel like I am then need to say the same thing about Sessegnon, where he did get us into top 4. He did put in the performances necessary to get us to the position that we are in. So maybe as much as we are probably, getting a bit concerned about his end product, getting a bit concerned about his lack of ability to take on his man and blow past players and, create things for himself, he still did show up in the clutch, and he still did show up in the games when we did need him most. And I think I've said the same thing about Emerson, And so I feel like I sort of am entitled to say then the same thing about Sessegnon, to be fair to him and also to defend sort of Maddie's point there. As much as I agree with you, Dave, I don't really like, I kind of I don't have as much confidence in Sessegnon, but I've said similar things about Emerson, so I feel like I need to say similar things about Sessegnon.
Look, I can understand what you're saying, right? I do understand what you're saying. But he's played 184 first-team games across the 5 years. That's a lot of games. And someone that's played 184 games, I expect to see a lot better from the guy. Yes, he's got good assists and good goals, but most of them are from the championship from his early days. I actually think he's regressed from 17, then from where he was at when he was 17 to where he is now at 22. I think he's regressed. And for me, I think that's on the player. I think, look, obviously he stepped up in quality from Fulham to Tottenham, but does he have it in him to bridge that gap to be that quality? I don't see it. I just do not see it in the guy. Look, if something clicks with him and yes, maybe he can go on. He's athletic, but when I look at the decision making at times, when I look at some of the sloppy touches and all, he's 22. When is that eventually going to come out your game? And that's where I'm coming from. Like,
yeah. Some people agree with you in the chat, Dave. A lot of people agree with you in the chat on it.
Yeah, like, and this is what I'm saying. He's not a youngster that as we're filtering through. He's been around first teams for 5 years. And I expect more. It's like if I brought a 25-year-old, I expect him to be better at 30 than what he was at 25. But when I look at Sessegnon at 22 to 17, I think he's regressed. I looked at 17-year-old Sessegnon, 18-year-old Sessegnon. Oh, fuck me, what a player, get me him. But somewhere along the line, he's lost his way. And I just did, look, I did not find him overly impressive. I did not. Yes, he's had some good moments. But my God, I've had some good moments in my life. I can pick out a couple of moments along the line. You know what I mean? But are they consistent? No. And that's the same with him. His moments are not consistent. Yes, he stepped up against Leeds and Liverpool. But what did he do against Brighton, Brentford, all these other games? And that's where I'm coming from with it. I just don't think. I'm going to stick my neck on the line here. And I know people might look at me and say, Dave, you're being a prick. It's preseason. Calm down. Stop being harsh. But I'm going to stick my neck on the line. I don't think Sessegnon will make it at that.
I see where you're coming from, and I see the concern, but I think it's just so relevant and so important to acknowledge that he's never had any bit of consistency ever. I don't think it's fair to judge him as a player who's had 5 years in professional football. Or like, you know, I see a lot of people there mentioning in the chat, Oliver Skip did well after one season. He did incredibly well after one season, but you can't judge every single player by the same benchmark.
Yes,
you know, Wayne Rooney was a Premier League footballer, a very good Premier League footballer at 16, whereas at 2021, Harry Kane was being loaned out to Millwall and to Norwich, to Leyton Orient, to Leicester. Players develop at different rates. Players develop by different ages. You know, what age they kind of become a more physical, what age they start, you know, like the whole development of a person and a player. So Skip did extremely well after 1 year, but I don't think that's fair to say Sessegnon, and this is aimed at the people in the chat now who are saying that, it's not fair to say that Sessegnon should be good after 1 year because Skip was. If going by that same logic, Son would have been sold after his first season at Tottenham. Harry Kane, when he was loaned out that first time, we wouldn't have bothered bringing him back.
Interesting.
You know, it's so important to judge each player on their own. And Sessegnon, with the injuries, with the different positions he was playing at Fulham, with the up and down loan at Hoffenheim, with the amount of managerial and system changes that have happened at Tottenham in the 3 years that he's been here, it's been such a difficult period for him. And he's even spoken himself about the struggles he's had off the pitch on a personal front as well. You know, there's so much in this that I think needs to be taken into consideration. But the one thing that I think we can all agree on is in terms of natural raw talent, Sessegnon has it. It's just about fine-tuning that, helping him to become the player that can produce that on a consistent basis within this team and to the level that we do need. I think it would be foolish to give up on Sessegnon right now. And look, I completely understand where you're coming from, David. I absolutely understand, and I do agree with you on some of the points that you're making. But until Sessegnon has a full, proper season of playing in a team that is playing well, because remember as well, a lot of the games that he played for Tottenham in those couple of years, it was that bad rotated team that we had in the Conference League, for example. I said the same about Brian Hill. The majority of the games he played for us at the start of last season, he was playing with players that didn't want to be there. He was playing with Lo Celso, with Ndombele, with Doherty when we didn't want anything to do with him. So even within that, the games he's had with Tottenham, it's so hard to judge him by. So for me, give him a full, proper season this year. And look, if we're in the same situation next year, I'll admit it, I'll accept it. He'll have to go. But there's so much talent in this kid, and I feel like we need to give him the proper opportunity, because I don't want this to be a situation where he ends up Maybe going
Yeah.
abroad, maybe going to a lower team, and then 2 years later he signs for City and he's one of the best out there, and we think, well, maybe that could have happened with us.
Yeah. And look, maybe my final piece on Setchong is what I actually think is holding him back is that he's failing to make the transition from being babied to being an adult and having to take things on yourself. That's my personal opinion. I think still in his mind frame, he still thinks he's that young kid, that 17, 18-year-old kid, and he's still being waiting being told
Mhm.
what to do every single time, rather than actually going and figuring things out on his own. I still think that's what's holding him back. That he just basically needs to grow out of being a child and become a man. Just grow up a little. Just go for it. Work hard. It's never going to be given to you. You've got to go and take it. You know what I mean? We're given the opportunities. Prove why you shouldn't be dropped week in, week out. And I think that's what's holding him back. He's still in his mind thinks he's still that teenager.
I think he's putting in the effort. I think I agree with you, Dave, for the most part there, but I think he's putting in the effort. He's putting in the hard yards necessary. I think where you and I are agreeing with each other is there are moments when I'm questioning whether he actually will develop the ability to be able to be that class left wing back for us. But to Maddie's argument, to kind of seal these, things two together is like he hasn't been given the consistency. And whether you think that's his own fault, whether you think that's the club's fault, doesn't matter. He hasn't been given the consistency, and that's something you have to address. And I agree with Maddie there. And so then if he hasn't been given the consistency, can we really judge where he'll be in 3 or 4 years time? I'm not sure if we can. I think we're going to have to, continue to go through this preseason and go through part of the beginning of the season to really see whether Sessegnon is actually regressing, like you say he is. I kind of think he is, Dave, to be fair, if I'm going to be honest. But I think Matt's argument you can't ignore. You really can't ignore that someone might regress when they're not being given consistent enough playing time. They might regress. We saw it happen to Harry Winks, even, to be fair to him. But Dark Sun G in here, chiming in about Richarlison, saying Richarlison played better than Jesus considering the opposition. I also feel once Basuma and Perisic play, we will leak less goals and score more. That is a good point, because if we actually had Perisic out there delivering some of those balls in, I think we probably would have scored even sooner maybe in the game, because there were a few moments when Sessegnon as well as Emerson really did disappoint, with their final ball. And we know that Perisic is able to play it to anybody's foot however he likes. Also, Perisic can even finish, chances if he wants in those sort of areas as well. He could just cut inside and just have a banger. And then Basuma, that would have been very fun to see. In fact, Papa Matasar plus Basuma would have been kind of cool. Two very tall, powerful, lanky midfielders, running the show. Basuma plus Højbjerg. Basuma with everything. It's like one of those dishes, Dave. It just goes with everything, Basuma. It just looks good on, like a bit of chips, Dave, for you. It just goes with everything. You have to have your chips with everything. You have to have your Basuma with everything. That's how I think Dark Sun G sees it here. But he's absolutely right. I think Richarlison still played better than Jesus at the end of the day. And I think had we maybe had a Perisic in there, we probably wouldn't be complaining about the wingbacks maybe as much.
Look, fully fit Richarlison would have left the pitch with 2 goals and nobody would be talking about him. It's that simple. Fully fit, he would have took them 2 opportunities and he's walking off with 2 goals and we're all sitting here like, my God, pay 80 million, give them an extra 20. So for me, I'm not worried about Richarlison. Look, I've said this before. I think he's better than Jesus. I think he leads the line better. And for what we need at Tottenham, he suits us better. Will we concede less with Basuma and Perisic? Look, I think the fitter we get, I think the more run-outs we get, we will start conceding less, but we'll still concede goals because no one wants to header the ball. Nobody wants to put their head to the ball. I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely shocking. So for me, I still think we'll still concede a few goals because all teams have to do is put balls into the box against us, and they'll go and win that header every single time. But to be fair, Skip and Bentancur covered that midfield very well. It's not like they were just overrunning our midfield. The
midfield probably looked the strongest today. The midfield might have looked the strongest today. The front 3 looked very strong. The front 3 also looked strong. I thought our wingers with Lucas and Hill did fine. Parrott even had good opportunities. I think, the front 3 looked good. The midfield looked good. Really, it was just wing backs, and then defense was a bit poor. So actually something that's probably the opposite of the story last season, because the defense was actually quite solid towards the end of the season last season, and the wing backs were doing a decent job. But today, they just didn't really hit the marks that we know that they could. But Dark Sun G, really do appreciate support, my man. And we all know that he's absolute classes above Gabby Jesus. And we don't need to, make pictures of Richarlison, doing Jesus poses and whatnot, to prove to fans that he's good. All we have to do is just look at the highlight package and just talk about him. That's how all you have to do is just watch him play. All you have to do is just watch him play. Then he's a good player. Where it comes to Gabby Jesus, they need to do all these editing of these images and whatnot, to edit these backgrounds of him standing on mountains, holding his hands up, to convince people that he's good. It's a whole different type of game, Dark Sun G. Big up, my man.
Big up, Dark Sun G, brother. Really appreciate the support. But look, guys, I think what we'll do is we'll let you plug the channels. I think we'll get out of here. We'll get out of here.
I put in Maddie's channel earlier in the chat, putting it in yet again. But Maddie, tell us a bit about what's going on. I mean, it is Matizio Romano, as I like to say. But what can people find over at Matt Hayes Tottenham blog?
Just transfers and then more transfers. Yeah, I just love transfers, to be honest. The rest of the window is probably going to be a little bit quieter than I was hoping for now that we've got so many signings in over the line very early on. But there's going to be a lot of departures. There's 4 players at least that have been left out of the preseason that we're looking to move on. So what I do on my channel is not only do I analyze the moves, but I analyze the story, I analyze the source, and we try and in the midst of this bizarre transfer rumor, we try and pick out what's actually true. Which I think is a very good USP for the channel. So yeah, I'd appreciate any support anyone could offer, and that head over and subscribe and all that. There may be a rebrand coming soon as well. So do keep an eye out for that one. But the main thing is to support the channel you're watching right here. Watch alongs the whole way through the season. That I'll be joining as often as I can. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and like that stream as well, because David never gets enough likes. Everyone here watching should hit that like button.
And I can never get enough of them either, so don't ever stop.
Exactly.
It feeds my ego. It feeds the ego. The girlfriend's not happy about it, but I'm absolutely loving it, and that's all that matters. But guys, do check out Matt Hayes if you haven't looked. It's kind of condescending because everyone knows exactly who he is, but there's always one. Get over, check him out. He's your transfer guru, and he gives everybody a good guide through the transfer market. He sifts out the real news from the weeds. So everybody get over there and smash that subscribe. But Jacko, where can people find you, brother?
I'll do a really quick plug because I do want to say something, just quickly about this channel. Everybody, Flat Cap, just check out the Benoit Badiashile vid. I would love some more views on that one. We've been talking about center backs that can win a header. I think he's one of the best in Europe, actually, when it comes to that metric. He is insane in the air, Benoit Badiashile. In fact, I believe he's even better than Sven Botman in the air, who's also a bit of a menace by the looks of it. So if you do want to bring in a new center back, as well as one that could potentially be a left-sided center back, I kind of took a look at Benoit Badiashile. Would definitely check out that vid. But I would say, everybody, I do want, before we go, everybody to Big Dave in the chat. The guy has been holding down the fort this whole week while I've been gone. Feels like, honestly, he's just been absolutely flying, this build up to this preseason. He's put in a lot of hard yards and a lot of hard work to build up to this preseason game. We were able to, give you the watch long and the timer as well, which I know he was really excited about, especially after all the hard work and hard yards he's put in this whole week while I've been gone. So everybody, big up Dave in the chat, absolutely holding down the fort and absolutely smashing it since I've been gone. And honestly, Dave, it's been absolute bliss. So I would just say that's what I would plug, is not only that Benoit Badiashile vid, but just plug yourself, Dave. Plug yourself.
Don't get me wrong, lad. It's been very, very hard to manage without you. I mean, you do so much in terms of like keeping me organized and everything. It's been all over the place, but we've got there. But look, just like Matty Hayes will give you the news, and then you're sitting there thinking, who is this player? Well, follow from Matty Hayes' news over to flatcapeurotalk. Get yourself the highlight reel and everything else. So guys, smash the subscribe of flatcapeurotalk. But I also want to give Nick a special mention. He's the guy behind the scenes. Nobody really sees it, but he's the one that gets this watch along up and running the way it is, with the graphics, the scoreboard, and everything else. I never ever asked for a thank you. Not only that, I said to him, Nick, Harry Kane's golfing in New York. Did you know that? And he says, David, I didn't. But you know what? He didn't rest on that information. He went down and got me Harry Kane's signature on an Irish Hotspur piece of paper as well, branded and logoed. So absolute legend for that. I mean, he's made my whole year. Christmas is coming on the 25th of December, and people are already asking, what do you want, Dave? It doesn't matter. You can't beat what Nick has given me. So, there's no point. Just keep your money. I don't want anything this year. I've got Harry Kane's signature. That'll do me. But everybody, give Nick a big up. He does so much for this channel. And I'll be honest, half the times I'm that excited or that angry about games, I kind of forget to give him a big up. But I haven't today. So big him up.
Love everybody. Big up Lazy 801, as you know, in the chat. Nick, who comes on from time to time, and maybe for the Sevilla game, if he's around, we'll get him on for that. He'll join us. We'll chat about Hill Messi and whatnot. But everybody really do appreciate the support they've shown today. Smash that like button on your way out if you haven't already. We're going to have a watch along ready for the Sevilla game, just like this one, going to be probably run the exact same way. We're going to have all the build up, all the pre-match stuff going into it, like David just did. So just stick around, stick by this channel, and I promise you will not be disappointed. But also, we have a match review coming up. We're going to kind of give our kind of sort of summarized points, maybe a bit more organized, a bit more prepared, with our conclusions about the post-match as well. So stay tuned for that one, where basically, if you didn't get to see the game, we are just going to summarize everything that happened and kind of give our thoughts on maybe what we learned from the match as well.
100%. So look, we'll see you all back here later on. As always,
come on, you Spurs.
In Conte
we trust.
Everywhere we go.